cheer first.
Fans, at this time, please direct your attention between the 50 and the 30-yard line here on the Bulldog sidelines. At this time, we would like to recognize graduating seniors both from cheer and as well as band. Starting with the cheer side, senior Kennedy Salinas and her parents Noelle and Tracy Salinas. Megan Ronenberg with her parents Robin Ronenberg. And now our senior band members, Laura Avila with her parents Laura Sanchez. Cameron Ballard with his parents Lee and Tina Wombles. Kristen Beinert with her parents Tim and Danette Beinert. Melissa Boer with her parents Ben and Suzanne Boer. Gabriel Elder with his parent Catherine Wilson. Pedro Flores Medrano Jr. with his parents Pedro Flores and Rafaela Medrano. Stephen Furchess with his parents Jeff Furchess and Lee Ty Shea Kidder. Lexi Galkey with Mike and Laura Galkey. Skylar Getman with his parents Brian and Christy Getman. Cody Ray Hoff with his parents Randall and Tanny Hoff. Paige Houck with Aaron and Tanny Houck. Cole Conigrud with his parents Jim and Sherry Conigrud. Cody McNeil with Dixie McNeil. Michael Milligan with his parents Sean Amber Milligan. Victor Padilla Vila with his parents Jesus Padilla and Rachel Vila. Manuel Santos with his parents Felipe Santos and Ines Hernandez Santos. Savannah Shearer with her parent Shara Hopper. Carly Thompson with her parents Maria Thompson. David Torres, Demetro and Desiree Torres. Dale Wilkerson with his parents Tim and Suzanne Wilkerson. Joseph Wilson with his parents Paul Ryder and Tara Wilson. Your seniors for Cheer and Band 2012. Thank you, kids. Thank you, parents. Fantastic job. Bulldog fans, just a reminder that the 4th annual Hermiston High Sports Boosters Texas Hold'em Tournament will be coming up on Saturday, November the 24th out of John Walshy Farms on Edwards Road. All funds generated go to help programs at Hermiston High to help support Bulldog athletics. Tickets are $100 each, and that includes your buy-in, dinner, and a whole lot of fun. The 4th annual Hermiston High Sports Boosters Texas Hold'em Tournament, November the 24th out at John Walshy Farms. For more information, stop by Eastside Market or give me a call, 567-5811. Good evening, football fans, and welcome to Kennison Field for this evening's OSAA 5A play-in game with our guests from the Northwest Oregon Conference, the Sandy Pioneers, ranked number 19 in the state of Oregon, led by head coach Greg Barton, taking on your Hermiston High Bulldogs under the direction of Coach Mark Hodges. Fans, at this time, will you please stand and join us in Honor America, as well as our men and women around the world in uniform protecting our freedoms, with the playing of this evening's national anthem under the direction of band director Paul Dunsmore.
is the senior Kyle Bateman. Hermiston's going to start with the ball here, and we will get their offense after we find out where on the field they will be starting with the ball this evening. As the kickoff is just about set to go here, teed up by Wyatt Edwards, a junior kicker, right-footed guy who boots the ball away for the Sandy Pioneers. Last 2 weeks, lots of squibs, and when they got down late against Wilsonville, well, not even late, against Wilsonville and Sherwood, considerable amount of onside stuff as well. So Hermiston's up guys are going to have to be active here tonight. If it gets past them to the deep men, to the right is going to be Alex Ortiz. To the left will be Preston Mortar for the Bulldogs, both at about the 5-yard line. Ready for play has been signaled, and we are underway here this evening at Kettison Field. The Bulldogs and the Sandy Pioneers. It's a low line drive kick over to the far sideline, takes a few hops, checks up at the 10, will check up at the 5. That's where Ortiz will pick it up. Now he's going to go. He's at the 10, far sideline, just out the numbers, and gets brought down at about the 15-yard line, maybe a little bit in front of that. That ball just kind of died down on Ortiz when it looked like it was going to go out of play. So Hermiston is going to start at not the most ideal field position here. First down and 10 for the 15 on the opening drive of this ball game. The quarterback is sophomore Chase Canute. Stands at 6'1", 180 pounds, how he weighs in. He has thrown 55% this season, 1,300 plus yards, 15 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Although they come out, and it is going to be Canute's from the shotgun, rolling left, will throw downfield, up in the air. It's caught by Jared Munsterman across the 30-yard line. Near sideline, he's brought down at about the 33. It's going to be a completion of 18 yards and a first down for Hermiston on the opening play of the ball game.
And you like to see that, that's something that, that the Sandy probably scouted real well and was kind of surprised they came out throwing the football.
Well, and throwing the football out of the shotgun. To the right of Canute's is Trenton Anto, takes a hand up, edges to his right across the 35, towards the middle of the field, up to about the 37, 38-yard line. About a 5-yard pickup there for Anto. He's rushed for 821 yards prior to that carry. Now he's got 64 carries and 826 yards on the season. 13 rushing touchdowns, 2 receiving touchdowns. Canute's under center on 2nd and 5. Drops back, looks to throw, lobs it high into the air, too high for Cole Smith, the 6'1", 180-pound sophomore out wide. Alex Ortiz was that way with him. The 6'2", 190-pound senior leads the team with 400-plus yards receiving and 36 catches and 6 touchdowns this season. Munsterman caught that first one. He's at a tight end position right now, but does split out wide sometimes. 6'4", 210, and a senior. 366 now, making about 380 yards receiving this season. 2 wide each side on 3rd down and 5. Handoff, Anto edges out to his right. He's got face the first down. He's at midfield, stiff arms a guy. Gets across the 45 into Sandy territory, down to the 43-yard line. Huge run for Anto, and it's another first down for the Bulldogs.
19-yard run that time for Anto. Excellent job. Had a heck of a stiff arm in there to stand up the Sandy defender, and got about another 8 yards after the stiff.
This is called the tempo offense. No huddle. Hermiston quick to the line. 2 wide to the right side with Anto the deep man. 2 tight ends in. It's going to be play action. Canute's rolls right. Tons of time. Throws to the sideline. It's going to be caught there. Ortiz jukes left and back to the right. He's going to be stopped just about the 38-yard line. And it's going to be about a 5-yard gain on the pass play. Canute's had tons of time as he rolled out to the right. That line in front of him, the sophomore Dylan Caldwell at left tackle, Armando Garcia the left guard, Damian Martinez at center, Caleb Batiste at right guard, and Michael Finn at right tackle. Other than Caldwell the sophomore, the other 4 are juniors. There's going to be a flag out on the play as Anto hurdled the player who had fallen down in front of him. And it does look like it's going to be a holding penalty against Hermiston after a 1-yard loss on the rush. We have to wait for the signal here tonight. 10:30 on the clock in the first quarter. Opening drive, 90 seconds gone. The Bulldogs are marching into Sandy territory right now in a scoreless ball game. Holding penalty is going to be called against Hermiston, and so it'll move them back at 10 yards to about midfield.
The ball back to the 48.
It'll go back to the Sandy 48-yard line. Now 2nd down, and About 17 to go for the Bulldogs. Knudts goes under center. Two tights into the formation, two wide. Straight drop, looking to throw right side. Throws over the middle. It's going to be caught there. David Barnett breaks through a tackle down to the 30-yard line. A first down for the Bulldogs, and it's going to be good for 19 yards.
Nice job by Barnett. You get it up there where he can catch it, and I tell you what, he's a load to bring down.
David Barnett was the last one we hadn't mentioned. That gets him over 100 yards this season. His 10th reception now at 117 yards this year. Handoff Anto comes to the middle. Not a whole lot of space for him, and might have got a yard pushing forward there as the middle of the line held Anto up to the 29-yard line. 1 yard carry on the play.
Nice toughness that time by Anto, and the one thing that happened, Sandy defender stood him up and waited for help to come get him.
Second down and 9 to go. It's going to be handoff. Anto. He's going to come to the right side this time. Stopped there as the outside linebacker Cody Welty came in. And the junior, who got just his first start at the position a week ago, helped out by David Banks Linfoot, the senior nose tackle, to stop Anto after a 1 yard gain. 3rd yard and 8 coming up for Hermiston. 2.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Opening drive, so scoreless ball game. To throw, dumps it off into the flat left side. It's going to be Hamblin. Puts his shoulder down at the 25. Runs over the top of the tackler who brought him down, Chase Tomitz. Down to the 22-yard line. It's going to come up short of the first down marker. Fourth and about 3 coming up here. Left hash mark set. The Bulldogs going for it. Anto, the 8-man. Knudts under center. The sophomore quarterback hands off Anto. Coming left side. Tripped up around the 20. Dove for it, and I don't think he got there. As coming into the outside, it was Bateman, that middle linebacker, who made the stop, and it is going to be a turnover on downs. 2 yard carry. He needed 3. And so Sandy's offense is going to come out onto the field here after the turnover on downs with 8:51 on the clock.
10 at their own 21-yard line.
3 minutes and 9 seconds of possession for Hermiston there, but it comes up empty deep in their territory. The turnover at the 20, they mark it 22-yard line. First down and 10. Sandy shifts around and drops back into the backfield. Josh Faison, the senior backup quarterback. Justin Adams, the leading quarterback, is out left. Dumps it off onto the right side. Karsten Short there. He gets stopped immediately and is actually going to be dropped for a loss on the play of a couple. So Sandy came out with a gadget, and it did not work for them. As Faison drops it to Short, drop back to the 19, 2-yard loss on the pass play. Adams is the quarterback. A week ago, 187 yards passing against Wilsonville, 13 of 24. An interception and 2 touchdowns. Greg Barton, the first-year head coach at Sandy, who's in his second year helping with the program, did say, realistically, Adams could actually play wide receiver quite well at 6'6". Under center, he's going to hand off. Play action, no. Good fake. Down over the middle. It's going to be wide open and caught there. Down the middle of the sideline, Welty's got it. Left hash mark into Hermiston territory. Ball ripped out, but they said that the runner was down as Welty got down inside the Hermiston 45, down to the 44-yard line. Adams to Welty, the tight end, for a first down.
36-yard, nice hookup that time, Eric. And, that play-action pass, that's where you got to be protective of.
It was great deception there as he hit that ball on his right hip. Adams did. Adams will come shot. No, he will go under center. I form behind him. Andrew Spencer, the fullback. Bateman dots the I. First down and 10 for the Hermiston 44-yard line. Scoreless right now. Handoff Bateman. Nowhere to go. Coming to the right side, and he gets stopped for a loss of 1 on the play. Bateman and Jeremy Funk, a junior running back, split time back there in the backfield, in part because Bateman's got to play on both sides of the ball, so sometimes he gets a breather. It's actually a second loss of yardage on first down here on this first drive for the Sandy Pioneers. In fact, Bateman comes out on this play, and Sandy's going to spread it out 5 wide, 2 to the left, 3 to the right for Adams. Second down and 12 to go from the 46-yard line in Hermiston territory. Lots of time, throws near sideline, going to be caught. Robson coming to the middle of the field, inside the numbers and the hash, down to the 35-yard line. It's going to be about a 10-yard gain and a third down and 1 on the way. 6:48 on the clock here, first period. And scoreless right now. Sandy has now marched down into Hermiston territory. Adams breaks the huddle. He's going to send Karsten Short wide to the left side and 2 to the right. Welty and then Robson. Under center with the I form behind him. Hands off fullback. It's going to be Spencer up the gut. Gets a couple. And he will be down at the 33-yard line. Enough for a first down to move the chains for the Pioneers.
Spencer on the carry. Good for the first and 10 on the stop of the Bulldogs. Number 4.
Sandy's had a rough go of it the last 2 weeks. 52-20 hosting Wilsonville in the final game of the regular season. 84-42 against Sherwood. But those are two teams that have byes this week because they're in the top 8 of the OSAA's RPI. 6 minutes left here in the first quarter. Motion man left to right. It's going to be Short. They're going to hand off, though. Bateman coming right edge. Gets past one tackler down inside the 30, down near the 25 is where he is brought down. Alex Campbell up there along with the leading tackler for Hermiston, Kevin Hammond, to make the stop. But not before Bateman gets down to the 25-yard line. Nose of the ball on the 25. It's going to be a second down and 3 to go.
You know, Eric, right now, as we talked earlier last week against Pendleton, Sandy's front line is just having kind of their way right now, doing a very good job of blocking and getting a lot of penetration into the defense.
Taylor Way is that left guard who we didn't have earlier. High snap, trouble with it, and Adams will fall back on top of it, back at the 32-yard line. It's going to end up losing 6 of the 7 yards gained on the Bateman run, and that is going to drop Sandy back into a 3rd and long situation. The long snap was a trouble for Sandy over the last couple of weeks. In fact, in the game against Sherwood, 4 fumbled snaps. 2 of them ended up as turnovers for the Pioneers. Adams, who stands at 6'6", 230, can run as well. He had a 51-yard touchdown run for Sandy. 5 total rushing touchdowns in the game. 3rd and 9, looking left, back to his right, flings downfield. It's going to be up, caught by Welty down near the goal line. He is going to be down at the 1, but there is a flag back behind the play. 30-yard completion to Welty, but they're talking with Trent Nanto about the flag. So this is holding against Sandy. Wave away the ball down to the 1-yard line.
Big play, because now it even comes from 5 yards or 6 yards deep in the backfield. And now you're going to be going back a lot farther than that, an extra 10 yards. So virtually about a 13-yard penalty that time, Eric.
46-yard line.
At the 46-yard line, 3rd down and 22 for the Pioneers. 4:36 left in the first period of play at the right hash mark. Scoreless right now. This is Sandy's first drive. 3rd and forever. 2 wide each side. To the near side, Short and Welty. Adams straight drop. Throws it down the middle of the field. It is too far, looking for Robson. As Robson was essentially in quadruple coverage there. A blanket of black shirts over the senior receiver. And the incompletion brings up 4th down and long. And so the punt team will come out on the field for Sandy. After moving the ball into Hermiston territory, the holding penalty destroys the drive. Now Adams is the punter. He's averaged about 43 yards punting over the last 2 weeks. The reason we only have the last 2 weeks is because I went back and watched their games against Sherwood and Wilsonville and had stats from them. 4:26 on the clock, 4th down and 22. Adams will boot it away, kind of deadens this one off the edge of his foot, and it's going to bounce, and it will bounce inside of the 15 down about the 10-yard line. Got that kicked off of the foot of Chase Tomitz, but they're going to mark it down at the 11. That's where Hermiston will have it here. Second drive of the game for them. 4:17 left and scoreless here. First quarter of play. Chase Knutz is going to go under center here from the 11-yard line for the Bulldogs on 1st down and 10. One wide each side. Straight drop, looking to throw. Throws near sideline, tip pass, and it's not going to get to Ortiz. Incomplete. Off of the hands there of, it looked like Connor Bryant, the inside linebacker.
Yeah, Eric, he got a little bit of penetration into the line that time. Looked like he was starting to come and got his hands up just in time to go ahead and tip the ball away.
Second down and 10. Caduce has 2 wide left side. Hands off, it's going to be Anto. Has some space up the middle, is across the 20-yard line. Runs right over the top of the free safety by Zahn, who brings him down up the 25-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 14 yards on the play.
Joshua Bison. Spot at the Bulldog 25, 1st and 10.
First down and 10, tempo offense, and Caduce drops back in the shotgun with Anto standing to his right, 2 wide right side. The H-back is right as well. Now Anto shifts back to the left. Blitz coming from everywhere. Caduce fires, it's going to be caught. Smith has it. Ball comes out. They will say incomplete, or he was down, one of the two.
Yeah, they whistled him down that.
They're going to whistle a catch, and he's down, and so it's up to the 31-yard line. Completion of 6 yards for Hermiston, and a 2nd down and 4 coming up. Cole Smith's second target of the game. 2nd down and 4. Handoff Anto. Edges to his right. Gets stuffed right into that right guard position there. Justin Bruner hangs out in that place, and I think that's where he got stoned. And it's going to be no gain. 3rd down and 4 on the way.
Shot for no gain.
Anto last week, 155 yards on 37 carries and 2 scores for Hermiston. Came into the game 179 yards from 1,000 on the season. Anto again stopped at a flag out from the near sideline near the end of the play.
I believe you're going to get a face mask as he is going down, Eric, because there was no players out here on this far side, and only one person could see the running back there. But I don't know. It looked like he might have got an inadvertent face mask as he was going down.
Well, it's marked at 3rd down and 2. Procedure against Hermiston will move it back 5 yards.
Wow, that's totally different. And really late after the after the play was run.
Illegal procedure against the Bulldogs.
3 minutes, 1 second left here in the first quarter, and scoreless right now at Kinnison Field at Bulldog Stadium. Sherwood is going to, Sherwood. They're wearing red and white, as Sherwood might, but Sandy is going to decline the penalty. 4th down and 2. Jared Munsterman out to punt. He's averaged about 42 yards per punt this season. And deep to receive the ball for the Pioneers is Blake Robson. It's not going to get near him, though. It's going to bounce at the 50, take a Hermiston roll, then check up and stop at the 47-yard line. They get it into Sandy territory, but just barely, as the Pioneers have forced the punt. And Hermiston is back out on defense with 2 of 42 left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, that time Jared looked like he might have looked up just a little bit early, and the ball actually went off the big toe instead of being able to go off the side of the foot as it should have been kicked off or punted that way, and just come up a little poocher.
They're going to move Bison back into the backfield again. To the left is Adams, 3 wide right side. Bison throws it deep downfield. It's going to be underthrown and knocked away. Great defense out there wide. Preston Mortar going up against Justin Adams. Mortar gets his 6th deflection of the season.
Yeah, nice job. Preston looking back and following that receiver, looking back and occasionally got himself into a position where he had the best opportunity to catch that football. Great defense by the Sandy receiver.
Greg Barton, the head coach for Sandy, did say if they didn't have Adams, they think Vizon, the senior, would have made a great quarterback for them. 3 wide right side. Adams back in the shotgun this time. Running back to his right. He's got time. Now rolls out to his right. Flings downfield. Line drive. Pass high up in the air. air, caught by Robson, down inside the 25-yard line. Right on the 25 is where they mark him down, just over the top of Costa Rodriguez, and a nice catch there by Robson on a 28-yard gain.
Also there, number 7, Costa Rodriguez.
And that was a bullet pass delivered by Adams. First down and 10 for the 25, right hash mark set. It's going to be short, and then Vizon, and then Robson to the left. Gorski to the right as Adams takes the snap, looking left, now over the middle. It's going to be incomplete. Knocked out by Campbell on the play, looking for short. And Campbell was right there in time to knock it down. Alex Campbell, 6.4 tackles per game, 45 of the season. He's got a couple of picks and a forced fumble.
Second and 10.
2:14 left here in the quarter. First quarter play, scoreless here in Hermiston tonight. Bulldogs and the Pioneers in the 5A play-in round. 2 wide left, 1 to the right, and a tight end in with Funk to the back to the left of Adams. It'll be Funk coming right side, gets stopped immediately. He ran right into the blocker who was occupied by Barnett, and then Jacob Batiste knocked him down for the tackle. Batiste at the nose tackle position has averaged almost 5 tackles per game, which is a little bit rare from that nose tackle position.
You know, and that's, Eric, what we got to do. We've got to go ahead and start really getting ourselves fired up, because Sandy kind of on the offensive line right now has been having their way just with our defensive interior.
Just not on that play, as Hermiston got into the backfield, loss of 1, 3rd and 11 from the 26. Right hash mark again, 2 wide each side for Adams. Shotgun set, the quarterback takes a straight drop, looking left over the middle, flings towards the end zone too far, looking for short, incomplete. 4th down and 11 from the 26. Could theoretically be in 4-down territory, although Adams going to the sideline.
Number 8, Ramon Contreras.
And we'll see if Sandy wants to go for this 4th down, or if they want to try a field goal, which would be in the vicinity of 42 yards. Adams is back out, so they're going to go for it on 4th and 11. 1:27 left here in the first quarter. It's scoreless right now in Hermiston. It's going to be 3 to the left. Gorski, and then Robson, and then Vizon. 2 to the right, empty backfield. Pressure up the middle. They're going to fling it over the middle, and a diving catch and an interception made by Alex Campbell. Jumped in front of the receiver, Gorski, and stole that one away. His 3rd interception on the season, and it was an acrobatic steal.
Oh, man, what a play. He saw that coming and waited till the last moment, made a dive, and that ball was thrown on a B also. But Campbell, right place, right time, and made a heck of a play.
Bulldogs take over on the play. First down and 10. Back in their territory again, this time at the 11 for the 2nd consecutive drive. Flag out on the play. Hermiston move it early, and so they'll move back. Minute 20 left as the Bulldogs take over on this drive.
Illegal procedure against the Bulldogs.
Illegal procedure against the Bulldogs is their 2nd assessed penalty. First down to 15, now back at the 6-yard line. Alex Ortiz wide left, everybody else tight to the formation, a bunch of receivers to the right. The trio just off the line right. Anto, the deep man, stands on the goal line. Knutz under center, hands pitch play, and it's going to be stopped for a loss. Back inside the 5, there's a flag out late on the play.
Penalty marker on the play.
Yeah, the only thing that can be is somebody tackling the head, Eric. They had so many people there, and only Anto with the football.
Should have been a loss of a couple on the... I mean, it was a loss of a couple on the play. And we wait for the indication here. This officiating crew out of the Blue Mountain Officiating Conference. George Gillette, the wide hat, indicates personal foul face mask. So Hermiston, in the shadow of their goalpost, if it wasn't completely dark here this evening, on a cool but relatively warm considering the time of year night with no wind to speak of in Hermiston, moves it out to the 17-yard line. And now Hermiston is facing a first down Well, they moved it 10 yards out because Hermiston's now facing a first down. No, there was the 5-yard loss on the tackle. I'm catching up with everybody. First down and 5. Knudts to throw. Lots of time. Flings towards the sideline. Tipped up in the air. Incomplete. Nice job by the free safety coming over. Vizon knocked that one down, intended for Cole Smith.
Well, whatever play it was right in front of this sideline official here. And another procedure penalty.
A procedure penalty against Hermiston.
Procedure against the Bulldogs.
And Sandy still deciding if they're going to take that one, I think. The conversation happening right now between the captain and the White Hat. With 50 seconds left here to scoreless first quarter, illegal procedure is going to be taken, so it'll be first down and 10, right where we started this drive 30 seconds ago at the 11-yard line. Ortiz left, Smith right. Knudts under center. Blitz shown up the middle from Bateman. It's going to be a handoff. And coming off to the left, a couple of yards up to the 15-yard line. Anto gets 4 yards on the carry. As in there on the stop included Carlos Decker Martinez and C.J. McKittis III. Run of 4. Second and 6. 25 seconds left in the first quarter. Knudts to throw. Right side throws. It's going to be caught on a little slant route by Smith across the 20 near the first down. I think he's got enough for it. Wait for the indication. And it is a first down for Hermiston. It'll be their 4th on the ball game. Pauses the clock at 19 seconds while the chains are set at the 22-yard line after the 70-yard gain on the pass. Knudts, hands off. Anto edges to his right, gets around one tackler, bounces off of another, finally hit the third Sandy Pioneer to get to him, makes the stop. And it was the inside linebacker, C.J. McKittis III, the sophomore, who makes the stop, but it'll be the last play of the first quarter. Scoreless after a quarter of play. Hermiston with the ball when we come back on 1360 KOHU.
In 1945, A.E. Sherrill opens his first Chevrolet dealership in Arlington, Oregon. 67 years later, Sherrill Chevrolet is still doing business. Family-owned and locally operated, keeping your dollars here in the community. Thank you for all the valuable customers. Keep treating you right and making you friends. Here's to another 67 years of good service and community service. Sherrill Chevrolet.
Haley, do you take the color Crouching Tiger 4022 to cherish every day?
I do.
And Crouching Tiger 4022, do you take Haley's wall for as long as you match her decor? I do. You may now check out.
Find your color palette early. We'll help with the harmonious color palette of Clark & Thompson Paint and Priming One. Exclusively at Ace. Beautiful place.
Get ready to finish those weekend projects with a fresh coat of paint. You can find the Clark & Thompson and Benjamin Moore Limited Paint. Slide it over here to this side, not that side.
Put Ortiz over here on the right side. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go. Run. Right.
By yellow flags. Bulldogs ball at the 24-yard line. And we wait for ready to play here. As Sandy is going to put 4 down linemen in on this play. Adam Scholl, a senior, is coming in to play at an end. Knudts back of the shotgun set, play action, throws out to the near side into the hands of Alex Ortiz. He's got space at the 30, 40, makes a man miss. At the 45, cuts back to the middle of the field to 50. Throws down over the top of his own man and across the 40, where he's finally brought down from behind. A Sandy Pioneer makes the stop at the 37-yard line.
39-yard reception that time by Alex. Excellent job of making the cuts and making people miss. He had a heck of a block to spring him on the outside to start that run.
First down and 10 for the Bulldogs from the Sandy 37. Shotgun again. Canuts, plenty of time. Flings over the middle of the field, too far incomplete. Looking for Ortiz. The ball sailed on him and ended up going over the top of Blake Robson.
Yeah, that time there he might have waited a little bit too long. Ortiz was open right on the break early in that pass play, and Chase kind of missed him there and waited to try and let him get open across the middle.
Lifetime Vision Source scoreboard update. Give you an NBA 1, Oklahoma City 106, Portland 92. That's a final. The Hermiston girls soccer team defeated Silverton 3-0 earlier today over at Armin Larvey Middle School. Second down and 10 to go. Straight drop for Canuts. Plenty of time. Blitz up the middle. Steps around the tackler coming to his left side. Now he's getting into the grass, throws it, dumps it off, and it's going to be incomplete. Anto was in the vicinity, so it's just an incompletion. Nice job by Canuts to miss the blitz right up the middle at him. And it's a 3rd and 10 on the way.
Yeah, that time, lucky break. Canuts was able to be strong enough to go ahead and bar that arm off of him and make it out of there and just get rid of it.
After 1 quarter of play, Madras is 7-7, hosting Crook County in 4A play in action.
Hood River's up on Putnam.
Hood River Valley 7-0 up on Rex Putnam. 3rd and 10 for the Bulldogs from the 37. Canute shotgun again, 3 wide right side. He's rolling that way towards the sideline, flings downfield. It's going to be picked off into the hands of Vizon coming to his left. He gets past the tackler at the 30-yard line. It's going to be Anto who stops him, and the ball is going to be into the hands of Vizon at the end of that scramble there. It looked like Anto had almost ripped it out, but it's going to be an interception and a return of about 11 yards to the 30-yard line where Sandy will regain possession.
Yeah, that time Chase's ball floated off his hand just a little bit, just over the top of the receiver's hands, and ended up in Sandy defender's hands.
So Sandy back with the ball. 30-yard line here for Justin Adams, the senior in the shotgun. Bateman to his left and a step behind him. 2 wide each side. Play action to fling downfield, too far, looking for Robson, incomplete.
Great pressure that time by David Barnett. Barnett hitting Adams just as he was releasing that ball. Great play by David to make that ball have to sail a little bit off the 2 fingers there.
11 minutes, 13 seconds left in the first half. Scoreless right now in Hermiston at Kennison Field at Bulldog Stadium. Second down and 10 is on the way. And it's going to be a fling out into the flat. Short's got it there. He will get stopped immediately as stepping up on the play for Hermiston was Costa Rodriguez was out there and made the tackle. Yard gain for Short. And a 3rd down and 9 coming up from the 31. Adams shotgun set. Empty backfield. High snap, throws it over to the right sideline, too high, and it's going to be picked off by Rodriguez. Did he keep in bounds? Yes, he did. Hermiston's got the ball at the 43-yard line. Off of the fingertips of the receiver, Short, and it's going to be the 2nd interception of the ball game of Justin Adams.
Now, Eric, is the time we got to make the statement here. We have got to go ahead and make sure that, you know, we just drive this ball down, at least flip the field of possession there.
Well, for the first time, one team starts at the other team's territory. Hermiston 1st down and 10 from the Sandy 43. 10:29 on the clock here in the 2nd quarter. Scoreless right now. Caduce will be under center. 2 wide right side for him. He'll hand off. Anto coming to the right. He has some space. He's across the 40 down to the 35-yard line where he is tripped up on the play by Welty. Cody Welty makes the tackle, the junior linebacker, after Anto gets
Across the 35 to the 34.
a 9-yard gain and a 2nd and 1 up from the 34-yard line.
Cody Welty, 8 of 9, 2nd and a yard.
10:15 left here in the first half. Pitch out to the right side. This is going to be Costa, and Costa gets around a tackler across the 30. That's where he runs over the top of the tackler C.J. McKinnis C.J. McKinnis the third, but Rodriguez gets the 6 yards at a first down.
Nice little toss play that time, Eric, something we didn't see. Well, we saw a couple of times last week against Pendleton, but we haven't seen a whole lot all year long.
Anto to the left of Knutz in the shotgun. The sophomore quarterback takes a snap, play action, rolling left pressure there, flings towards the sideline. Ortiz lays out. Did he reach up and catch it? Yes, he did. Inside the 5-yard line. Ortiz laid out and made the catch. It's going to be down at the 4, goes for 22 yards. And Hermiston's got it, first down and goal. Knocking on the door, 2 minutes gone in the second quarter.
Ball is spotted inside the 10 at about the 5, first and goal.
And now we've got a stoppage here. It's for the officials to set things up. Ortiz is to the left. Knutz is in the shotgun set with Anto to his right here. Bunch to the right. Knutz rolling right. Lots of time. Flings it. It's going to be tipped and incomplete. I think that ball was tipped by Short before it got to Munsterman. And so second and goal from the 4.
Yeah, it was tipped, had a double tip that time because it almost looked like another Hermiston receiver was coming across. It might have been Smith coming across. Might have got his hands on that one before Short got his on.
Second and goal, left hash mark set from the 4-yard line for Hermiston. Knutz is going to go under center. Anto be the deep man on this play. Hamlin, the H-back offset to the right. 2 tight ends into the formation. Anto coming left, edges back to his right, gets through a tackler at the goal line to the touchdown. Touchdown number 14 on the ground this season for Trenton Anto. 16 touchdowns on the season for the Hermiston junior. This one from 4 yards out to get the Bulldogs on the board first. Ramon Contreras for the extra point. Out of the hold of Herminio Alvarado. David Barnett is the long snapper. Good snap, hold down, kick is up, it is through. Bulldogs lead is 7-0, 9:45 on the clock here in the second quarter. And we'll take the break on 1360 KOHU.
It's important to keep your vehicle running at peak performance. At Swain Motors, you can rely on GM factory-trained technicians for all of your GM warranty work, including Chevy and Oldsmobile vehicles. The service department at Swain Motors can repair most makes and models, so you know your vehicle will perform at its best. And remember, all service includes a free wash and vacuum of your vehicle. Call the Swain Motors service department today for your next appointment. Swain Motors, North Highway 395, Hermiston.
To win the game, the whole team needs to work together. It's the same with the home comfort system. There's a bunch of parts in here that need to work together every day to keep your family warm on a cold evening. Otherwise, your furnace can quit working. That's when you call in the team at Eclipse Heating and Cooling. Our guys will perform a system service rejuvenation to get your home comfort system back in the game.
Simply kick for the Bulldogs.
In the Hermiston area, call 541-564-1031. Tri-Cities, call 509-586-0379.
KOHU, Hermiston.
Bulldogs quick strike their 5 plays, end up scoring in 44 seconds. Trenton Anto, a 4-yard rushing touchdown. Jared Munsterman's got it teed to kick away here for Sandy. Short to the right, it's going to be towards him. He'll take it just at the goal line. Stumbles, he's at the 5, 10, down the middle of the field, 15, 20, and he is pounded right about the 20-yard line, whereas
and there's 11 bodies
bevy of
on
black
him.
shirts there.
Eric, there was 10. The only one that didn't get to him was Munsterman, who kicked the ball, but there were all 10 black jerseys, either right there with a hand on him or a body on him.
So the Bulldogs lead 7-0 with 9.5 minutes almost left here. The first half, 9:35 to be exact. Interception of Adams the last time on a tip ball. 2 wide each side for the senior quarterback. Shotgun set, his back is to his right. Straight drop to throw, right sideline. It's going to be caught, coming back to the middle. Face mask out on the play, as it looked like Preston got a big handful of the grill of Short. And so it's going to be Short for a gain of about 5, and then 15 on the end.
Yeah, that time you can see it up here really quickly that it just spun him around, and unfortunately, that's the big major one coming there.
Second quarter action in Hood River. The Hood River Valley Eagles 14, Rex Putnam's Kingsmen 0. 5A play in action. That from Mark Bailey of KIHR.
Well, they gave that an inadvertent face mask. Wow. 5-yard
So it's only the 5-yard variety. And it moves the ball to the 33-yard line. Adams. Shotgun set, runner to his right, takes a snap, looking right side, flings it to the sideline too far. Robinson is the intended receiver. We've been corrected, Blake Robinson. There was a typo on their roster here. You don't usually expect those 10 games into a season for a team, but a typo. Robinson is the senior receiver who's had a pretty good night so far. 2nd and 10 coming up. Right hash mark set, 2 wide each side. With Bateman a step behind Adams to his right. Straight drop, looking to throw. Screenplay dumps it off. It's going to be incomplete. And it was almost intercepted there by Jacob Harmon. And then David Barnett lit up Kyle Bateman.
Wow. That was a hit. Those are the ones you like to see, Eric. I mean, because when he's standing there like that and Barnett just leveled him.
This team has been incredibly good at being prepared for screenplays, especially those middle screens. Last week, Pendleton just could not get it going either. 3rd down and 9 from the 32-yard line, right hash mark. Adams takes a snap, looking left, now over the middle, throws it downfield. It's going to be incomplete. And there's a flag out on the play. It's away from where the play itself was. No, now it's being flung towards where the play was. It went right through the hands of Ramon Contreras, who was in position there for the interception. It went right through his paws.
I don't... did you see any contact early?
I didn't see any contact early. I saw contact late. It's going to be a holding penalty, so they say it was early against Hermiston on the receiver. And so that is going to be a 10-yard penalty. David Fayetete, the defensive coordinator, who's 2nd year at that position, 5th year with the Hermiston team, was trying to say there was a tip on the play. It's up to the 43, right hash mark, 1st down and 10, as that extends the drive. Handoff, Bateman running right side. He's not going to have a ton of space to go as Hallman chases him down and stops him for a gain of a 2 on the play. 8:48 left here in the second quarter. 7-0 Hermiston. Sandy's got the ball on the 45-yard line. Right hash mark set on 2nd down and 8. Adams empty backfield, 3 right. That's the short side of the field, 2 to the left. Takes a snap. It's going to be a quarterback run, and he is going to be stopped, and it's going to be dropped down by John Kuchar for a loss of 2 yards on the play.
Nice job of staying at home by Kuchar and pursuing the football. You know, took a look at Adams out there and saw that he did keep the ball and made the commitment, and Kuchar's a pretty good tackler whenever he gets his hands close to you.
Kuchar coming off of the edge on the play. Outside linebacker. 31 tackles coming into the game. 3rd down and 9. And now we've got a whistle. It's going to be a timeout for Sandy's Pioneers, as the coaching staff for Sandy didn't like what they were looking at there. And so they will take the pause. Down 7-0 with 7 minutes and 53 seconds left in the second quarter. Greg Barton is the head coach for Sandy. The offensive coordinator is Gunnar Sederberg. He actually commutes from Tigard daily for practices. He played at Tigard, and it's a small world category. He played at Tigard in 2003 under Frank Geske, who coaches at Wilsonville, which is actually where Barton thought he was going to end up until right near the start of the season. Now, Geske coaching the offensive coordinator Sederberg in his first year at Sandy at Tigard in 2003 is ironic with this as the matchup, because in 2003 Tigard won the state championship. Do you know who they beat, Sonny?
Was that Lako?
It was North Medford. Do you know who was on the defensive and offensive line? David Faitete.
Oh.
Do you know who was coordinating for North Bedford? Mark Hodges.
That's a long time ago, isn't it?
It's a small world. 3rd down and 9 coming up here out of the timeout. Rolling right. Adams time. Flings towards the sideline. It's going to be off the hands of Welty. A drop. He had it for the first down into Hermiston territory, and the junior tight end dropped it for an incompletion at a 4th and 9. The punt crew will come out for the Pioneers.
Coverage on the play for the Bulldogs. Number 2, Alex Ortiz. 4th and 9. Deep to receive with the Bulldogs. Number 2.
No, the year prior was Lake Oswego against Sheldon in the state title game.
That's
Those
right.
2 state title games played down in Eugene at Onsen Stadium. 4th down and 9 to go. Adams under some heavy pressure from Barnett, gets the kick away. It's going to be taken by Ortiz at the 10. He stops, gets away from a man, and then goes down as he was chased down on the play by Rhett Shiprock. And so Ortiz, who had made one man miss, ends up not getting much of a gain there. 21-yard line is where Hermiston will start with 7:36 on the clock in the second quarter, leading 7-0.
And Barnett very, very close to getting that block back there, Eric. You know, the pressure that he's putting on. And that's a situation there where you would have liked to have seen Ortiz just take off with it instead of trying to juke. Go north and south and try and get a couple extra.
It's going to be handed off. Anto edges to his right. Nice job stepping up there. The inside linebacker, C.J. McKittis, the third, the sophomore, makes the stop of Anto after maybe a 1-yard gain. And that was just a great read by the inside linebacker.
Yeah, it was. He put a face right on his shoulder and absolutely stood Anto up. And that's hard to do with this kid.
They're down 9 to go. Excuse me, second out. It's going to be Anto again coming to right. He's got space this time. Gets across the 25, around the 30 is where he's wrestled down, out wide by Welty. And they'll give him the 29-yard line. About a 6-yard gain on that carry.
Ball spotted just shy of the 30.
And a 3rd down and 3 coming up from the 29. Right hash mark set. Under 7 minutes left in the first half. Bulldogs up by a touchdown. And now a flat. No, it's going to be a timeout coming from the far sideline. Sandy uses their second timeout. We'll take this one as well. Bulldogs up 7-0. 6:44 on the clock of the second quarter on 1360 KOHU. When you're looking for a new vehicle, look to one place for all your automotive needs. The Swain Automotive Group. With Harley Swain Subaru and Swain Motors, you'll find new Subarus, Buicks, Pontiacs, and GMC trucks. You can also choose from a large selection of quality used vehicles. The Swain Automotive Group is a family-owned local business that's been dedicated to providing excellent customer service to our community for over 30 years. Stop in today at Swain Motors and Harley Swain Subaru in Hermiston, part of the Swain Automotive Group.
Evan Oil and Circle K are proud to support youth sports. Being part of a team is more than just playing the game. It builds a foundation of character and experience that will be used throughout a lifetime. Stop into one of the Circle K stores in Hermiston, Hamilton, Harrigan, Boardman, or Hefner, and meet the Evan Oil Circle K team. Always ready to help, whether you're fueling your car at the pump or fueling your body from a large selection of food and beverages. Evan Oil and Circle K in the team spirit.
567-5811. The 4th annual Sports Futures Texas Hold'em Poker Tournament.
Out of another Sandy timeout here in the second quarter. 6 minutes, 44 seconds left. Bulldogs 7, Sandy nothing here in Hermiston. 3rd down and 3. Shotgun set again for Canuts. Runner to his left. Play action. He'll fling out to the left side into the hands of Ortiz. Coming to the middle of the field. He's got space at the 35. Makes Welty miss. He's at the 40. Down the near sideline, 50. Gets a block. He's at the 40. Makes another guy miss. 35, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown. Ortiz scores. It's good from 71 yards.
What can you say, Eric? But wow, that Alex Ortiz that time just absolutely waited for his blocking on that little bubble screen. And once he got back inside the defensive line of Sandy. He just started picking up blockers as he went down, had one blocker to pick up, got a pretty good little shield block, and then shrugged off the tackle and was able to leg it on in for the score.
The extra point for the Bulldogs, number 8, Ramon Contreras.
Contreras for the extra point.
Alvarado.
And the snap's low. Alvarado gets it down. Contreras gets it through the inside of the left goal post. 6:28 on the clock. Bulldogs 14-0 over the Sandy Pioneers.
Wow, quick strike. You like to see it. You just want to keep seeing that type of offense come out on this thing, and maybe light up the scoreboard just a little bit, loosen up Sandy a little bit, so where they have to go ahead and start taking some chances. And that time there, that was all but one block, Alex Ortiz.
Yeah, he made a nice move early there in the run. It was over to the left side, and he came into the middle of the field, and he lost a man, and that man lost his shorts around the 35. And that's why, as I called it there, he makes the guy miss at the 35 and then explodes. And, in the blink of an eye, he's down to the 15-yard line.
Yeah.
And the run for Hermiston, 71 yards. It's just a 3-play drive at 1 minute and 8 seconds. And the Bulldogs end up with that touchdown to go up by 2 scores. On the Lifetime Vision Sources scoreboard earlier today at Armin Larvey Middle School, the Hermiston girls soccer team, a 3-0 victory over Silverton. They will move into the round of 16 of the OSAA state playoffs next week. Hermiston boys host Milwaukee tomorrow, 2 o'clock. That'll be at Sandstone. That's a Lifetime Vision Sources scoreboard update. Jared Munsterman to boot it away. Line drive, kick. It's going to bounce about the 15, take a hop, and it's going to go past everybody, just roll into the end zone for a touchback.
Pioneers will take possession, first and 10 at their own 20.
20-yard line start for the Pioneers.
Well, that's what you like to see, Eric. You like to go ahead and see it starting up like that and getting some good offense.
Coming up halftime, the Tom Dent Show Ford Country halftime show, we will talk with Rich Harchberger, the head coach of the Hermiston boys, as they get ready for Milwaukee, a team they beat 2-1 near the start of the season. 14-0 Hermiston as Sandy takes back over. 6:20 on the clock here in the first quarter. They're going to put Adams under center on the play, and he will fling it out to the far sideline quickly. Short has it there, trying to get out to the sideline, and he will get brought down right around the 35, maybe just short of the 35-yard line. There's a flag out on the play, and there's going to be holding called out wide there on Vison. The receiver trying to block out there on that receiver screen is going to move the Pioneers back at 10 yards on the penalty.
That's just their 3rd-yard penalty of the night, Eric. But they've had some pretty good-sized penalties. All theirs have been majors, and Hermiston's, of the 5-yard variety.
Except for the pass interference penalty. So they're going to move it back now, and Sandy's Pioneers are going to be facing a 1st down and 19. They move it back to the 12-yard line because the holding penalty was made a couple of yards past the line of scrimmage.
1st and 19 Pioneers.
Adams will go back under center. He'll drop back into the shotgun here with 3-wide right side. Blitz coming off the edge. Kucher's showing it. And now penalty marker for a false start going to come out. And I think that was Short who took a step forward. And will move them back 5 more yards.
Yeah, it's not good for Sandy right now. Now we got to protect against, them looking for that little screen again. That would be a good play to call, but like you said, Eric, we've been very well prepared for that. But also that naked little post over the top of there, that's the one that we got to really protect on.
Move it back to the 6-yard line. 1st down and 24 to go now. Adams shotgun set, 2 wide to each side. High snap, looking left, will fling it that way into the slot. It's caught by Robinson. He gets up near the 15-yard line, and that's where he's going to be stopped after about a 8-yard gain on the play. Closed in on that one. Campbell. And what do you know? 20% chance, and there's the rain. Just first few drops started to fall here. Very light right now, but it is coming down. A little bit of breeze coming as well. Coming from an awkward direction as well, kind of northeast right now. Second down and a 15 to go. Adams looking right. He's got some pressure. He's caught. He's dropped. Sack on the play. Hermiston got everybody back to him, and in there to make the stop on the play was Alexander along with Harmon.
Yeah, the one that really made the difference on that was Jacob Batiste just being a beast coming up the middle and forcing him around. Barnett trailing on that thing, and also, you know, that's pretty tough.
Need to get to the 30. Left hash mark set. Third down at the 13-yard line. 17 to go here. Adams shotgun, 2 to the left. And he's looking that way right now. Steps away from pressure to the right. Lots of time. Pump fakes, throws low near the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be incomplete. Looking for Welty. And so fourth down and long. 17 coming up. Sandy will send the punt crew back out on the field. And Adams, the quarterback, also the punter, will drop back into punt formation.
Number 3, Justin Adams.
Really needs to get a boot into this one with Ortiz waiting for the ball at his 45-yard line. Hermiston poised to get good field position. All 3 timeouts and 4:22 on the clock in the second quarter, up 14-0. Adams gets the kick away under some heavy pressure. He went down, but George Gillette was having none of it, and the ball rolls down to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, that was a great job by David Barnett. Barnett absolutely threw his hands out there. It looked like, you know, he knocked him down, but Barnett didn't make any contact at all, but very, very close to the block again.
So the Bulldogs getting some pressure with Barnett up the middle. Now they've got the ball offensively. Their 47-yard line. First down and 10. Canucks will go under center. Anto, the 8-man. Give to the junior running back, running left side. He's got some space across midfield. What's right over the top of a tackler inside the 40-yard line. Still on his feet, pushing inside the 35-yard line, down near the 33-yard line. And right now, looking to find out what bus just hit him is Oskin Gorski, the junior, who was in there for the tackle at about the 45 on Sandy's side of the field. And Anto, who has punished people all season running the ball, tackled Gorski and stayed on his feet. It's going to be a 19-yard gain. Anto again coming right this side, trying to get out to the edge, and he does inside the 30. Flag out on the play as he gets down to the 29-yard line. I think this one's coming back, though. It will be holding against Hermiston.
Yeah, kind of surprised there wasn't 2 penalties there, because he did look like he got pulled down by the face mask inside, but you know, he still had about a 5-yard gain on the play, and then coming back for the holding.
But I think the holding was, oh no, they're going to say the holding was about 5 yards into the run.
Yeah.
They'll move 10 yards back, but they only move it back to the 40, so Hermiston is looking at a first down and 17 to go. Right hash mark set on this play. 3:46 on the clock, 14-0 Hermiston. Canucks will go under center, 2 men in the backfield, split backs, straight drop, looks to throw over the middle. He will drop it into the hands of Munsterman, cross the 30-yard line. That's where Munsterman gets stood up and dropped down to the 28.
Wow, what a great little toss that time.
Back inside the 30 of the 27.
Gets 13 yards on the pass play. And Hermiston,
Number 10.
second down and 4 to go. Hand off. It's going to be Anto. He's got space. Runs through a tackler down to the 20-yard line.
And there came the bus again. Oh, my. He is running with authority.
That time, Connor Bryant makes the stop, the senior inside linebacker. But not before Anto gets 8 yards and a first down for Hermiston. 9th one of the first half. Little more than 3 minutes left here in this first half of play. 14-0 Hermiston. Anto again running right. They're moving furniture now. He gets inside the 15 at the right hash mark, dives up to the 12-yard line. About a 9-yard gain on that play. Now make it 8. 2nd and 2 on the way. Ball marked at the 12-yard line, right hash mark set. Hermiston edging down that right hash right now. Split backs again. Anto left, Hamlin right. They're going to fling it. Lob pass into the corner. It's going to be to the hands of Ortiz for the touchdown. One-on-one. Lobbed out of the corner. It was on the coverage. Tomitz with Ortiz, and Ortiz gets his 2nd touchdown reception of the ball game. And the Bulldogs poised to go up by 3 scores. Contreras, who about 4 weeks into the season took over the extra point duties, will put it up, will put it through, and it is 21-0 Hermiston with 2:32 left here in the first half of play. Very similar to last week, where Hermiston wasn't able to get the ball moving right away against Pendleton, had punts on the first 5 possessions, but then went into the locker room up by 2 scores, and really their defense started dominating Pendleton a week ago. They have also started to take control of this game against an incredibly good quarterback.
Yeah, they have. They've been getting some good timely pressure on him, getting good coverage on the receivers, so that the receivers are actually having to, if they do catch the ball, it's after kind of a great catch, a diving catch to make the plays. And you're right, the defense has really spark-plugged and sparked this offense to go. And this offensive line right now is really moving a lot of furniture, as you said. They are taking the advantage away from Sandy.
5 plays in 1 minute and 41 seconds. It goes 53 yards and ends up with a 20-yard finish to that drive.
12-yard.
12-yard, excuse me. Munsterman has it teed and kicks away. Drives another low line driver towards short. He's going to let it bounce. It's going to tip off of his hand and go into the end zone. So a 2nd consecutive touchback, and Sandy will take over on the 20-yard line. They've got a timeout left and 2 minutes and 32 seconds on the clock before they get into the locker room for halftime.
Well, they need to do something right now, Eric. If they want to stay in this game, they're going to have to get some spark going. And, you know, it's like we've noticed all year, our defense gets tougher as we go.
About 2 minutes into the 2nd quarter, Roosevelt 14, Pendleton 7 on the Lifetime Vision Source scoreboard. 2.5 minutes left here in the 2nd quarter. Handoff. It's going to be right side. Funk trying to get out to the edge, and he does. Gets around the corner, turns upfield across the 30, 35, around the sideline is where he's brought down, but not before he gets the first down. And about a
14-yard gain.
45 to about the 32-yard line, just to the first of the 10.
So they move him. He stepped out, so 12-yard gain on that
12-yard gain.
I was with you. I thought he got up to that 34, but
there was that good little spark they got out of there.
First down and 10. First down in a while for Sandy. A little more than 2 minutes left here in the first half. Handoff. It's going to be a run again to the right side and across the 35-yard line. Pick up 3 or 4 yards on the carry for Funk.
On the stop for the Bulldogs, number 77, Colby Alexander.
Alexander in there on the stop after a 4-yard gain.
2nd and 7. Gain of 4. 2nd and 6.
And a 2nd down and a 6 on the way. There's a little bit more rains coming down here. Under center again, Adams. Hands off again. Up the middle. This time it is stuffed. And there is maybe a yard and a half on the play to the 38-yard line.
Alexander Batiste.
Going to be a 3rd down and 4 coming up.
3rd and 4.
Minute 25 left here in the 2nd quarter. 21-0 Hermiston. Bulldogs stop this from getting a first down. You're going to expect the first timeout will be used. Adams under center again. I formation, and he's going to hand off to the fullback. It's going to be stopped. Spencer gets dumped in the backfield. It was knocked out by Batiste, and then coming in to make the tackle was Barnett on the play. A tackle for loss after he had 5 of those each of the last 2 weeks. Loss of 2 yards on the play. And Hermiston does use the timeout. 1:02 left. They'll have 2 timeouts left here in the first half. They've been moving the ball primarily on the ground now. But they are going to get the ball back. They really use an Ortiz return here. On the road, Hermiston has 4 boosters. They're going to have their 4th annual Texas Hold'em fundraiser on Saturday, November 24th at John Walshley Farms. With $100 to play in the tournament, you can come to the event and just have the food for $25. Social starts at 5:30, the tourney at 6:30. If you need information, contact Joe Thompson or TJ Hansel. You can contact Joe down at Eastside Market. Tickets are also available from any Hermiston Sports Booster member. That's going to be on November 24th. 4th down and 6. Adams, remember the quarterback, is the punter, standing at his 25-yard line. Gets the snap, gets the punt away, not a ton of pressure, and it's going to be Mortar back to take it. He's going to let it roll. It's going to roll out of bounds, or maybe just stay on the edge line, around the 15-yard line. That's where Hermiston will have it with 53 seconds left in the first half.
Well, got to keep putting pressure, Eric. I'd like to see, the similar drive to that last one. Just go ahead and make sure you protect the football with it getting a little bit wet out here right now.
With the timeouts, you can run the ball a little bit, because if you get first downs, the clock will stop while the chains are moved. Caduce is going to be in the shotgun with 2 wide to the right side on this play, and Ortiz alone to the left. He's looking right, dumps it off into the flat. It's going to be Hamlin there at the hash mark. He slipped and is down at the 18-yard line after a 3-yard gain. And 45 seconds left. Hermiston's going to go tempo here. No timeout used. 2 wide left side this time. Musterman, Ortiz, Smith alone to the right. Caduce rolling left to throw. Pressure. He gets it away. It's tipped incomplete in front of the dive of the middle linebacker, whose name we've said many times here, the sophomore C.J. McKinnis III. He is going to be a heck of a player over the next couple of years for Sandy. Already is. Against Sherwood, he had 10 total tackles. He and Bateman tied for the lead in that game. He had 5 tackles last week and forced a fumble at Wilsonville. Just a sophomore in the interior of this 3-5 defense for Sandy. 28 seconds left, 3rd down and 7 from the 18-yard line for Hermiston. 3 wide left side, and now Hermiston will use their 2nd timeout of the half. Didn't like what they had drawn up, and so they will reset here. Dane Kendrick, the quarterback's coach, Micah Mercer, who coaches the wide receivers and the special teams on the offensive side, in with the squad. They listen for Mark Hodges, the 5th-year head coach, who for the first year since he's been here at Hermiston, and his first year since he's been a head coach in football, is up top. He spent many years, a little over a decade in Medford, half the time at South Medford, half the time at North Medford, as a coordinator, and always up top. And so there's a lot of comfort for him up there. And he says he can really call a game better up top as well. And really, with Kendrick leading the offense and defensive coordinator David Fiatete on the defensive side, and the rest of the staff, they're very dedicated staff. Mark Hodges says that just about every week, that he's got a great squad around him. It allows him to do that. It allows the team not to lose a step down on the field.
Yeah, and it is a key, having a better pair of eyes upstairs and being able to make that decision. Sometimes that play call comes in, and, little timing things make a world of difference in whatever you're trying to keep tempo.
All right, here's 3rd and 7, 28 seconds left. Knutz will be under center. with Ortiz, the lone man, out wide to the left side. Handoff, Anto, edges out to his right, flag out on the play. Anto's got space. He breaks away from a tackler. He's at the 35-40, brought down from behind up to the 44-yard line. There is a helmet off for Armando Garcia, the left guard. Now, the indication was against Hermiston.
Illegal shift.
Garcia's helmet came off, so he's got to come off the field for one play.
Illegal shift against the Bulldogs.
And so 20.9 seconds left. Sandy's obviously going to accept this penalty. That's quite a bit better than first down and 10 from about the 42-yard line. What is Anto at this point?
Anto is 19 carries for 102 yards already. And
that play would have got him closer. He needed 179 coming into the game for 1,000 on the season. Might be there by the end of the night. Clock spinning. On now 3rd down and 15. Anto regging left, and he's going to run into a bevy of white shirts that stop him after a 6-yard gain up to the 19-yard line. At a timeout, it's going to be Sandy who calls it with 9 seconds left. So they'll stop the clock with 9 seconds left. 21-0, Hermiston's advantage here. Just before going into the locker room at halftime.
They actually gave him 7-8 yards on the play. Kind of a good spot.
Coming up at halftime on the Tom Denchel Ford Country halftime show, we will have Rich Harshberger, head coach of the Hermiston boys soccer team. Tomorrow, 2 o'clock at Sandstone Middle School, they will host Milwaukee in their 5A playing game. Earlier today, the Hermiston girls defeated Silverton 3-0. They move into the OSAA's round of 16 next week. Congratulations for first-year head coach Danielle McBride's team getting that victory today. Jared Musterman will punt with 9 seconds left. 4th down and 6 to go. Good snap to Munsterman. He will boot it away and get a good kick this time. It'll bounce at the 50-yard line and then spin back Sandy direction to Hermiston territory at the 48-yard line. Still going to go down as a 28-yard punt when it's a 30-yard punt, and then he had 2 yards of backspin on it.
Yeah.
But there's just 0.4 of a second left here before the locker room. It is Hebner 22, Athena 0, Weston McEwen 0 at the halftime break. It's going to be Adams to chuck one at the end of the half. Lobs it towards the end zone. It is up into the air and picked off. It's going to be Contreras. He's got space. He's at the 20. Far sideline 30. He's at the 40. Comes back to the middle of the field. 45. Still on his feet. Breaks away. He's at midfield now and will get the return for about 45 yards into Sandy territory.
Wow.
Boy, that was close. But it ends up interception, the 3rd one of the first half of the quarterback Adams. And Hermiston will go into the locker room up 21-0 here at Kettison Field at Bulldog Stadium. And our Tom Denchel Ford Country halftime show is on the way after this on 1360 KOHU.
For the largest selection of over 600 new Fords and certified pre-owned, always the lowest prices every day, and you'll get more for your trade guaranteed. Shop 24/7 at FordCountry.com with over 100 banks ready to say, yes, we can, regardless of your credit. Drive minutes, save thousands. If you can't come to us, we'll come to you. Right now, for every vehicle serviced and sold, Dental's FordCountry.com will make a donation to our local food banks or drop off donations at either Ford Country location. Tom Dental's FordCountry.com. Our families serving your families and our community.
Hermiston Glass is your local one-stop glass shop. From window and screen repair to complete replacement of old drafty windows and torn-up screens. And they service more than just residential home windows, commercial storefronts, desk and tabletop glass, even auto glass. If it's glass, Hermiston Glass can handle it. They can even help lower your energy costs this winter by keeping the cold air out with new energy-efficient windows. Hermiston Glass, your one-stop glass shop. CCB 147211.
First
Community Credit Union is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes. Since 1957, First Community has served communities like ours with the same commitment and same mission: to provide our community with dependable financial solutions, because where we live, community comes first. Visit myfirstccu.org or your local branch for financial solutions you can trust. First Community Credit Union is federally insured by NCUA and an equal housing lender.
Hey there.
Hey there.
My son's gonna help me.
Coming to help me.
Yep, it's the copy game.
Copy game.
I could say anything right now, and he'd repeat it. I just love Brussels sprouts.
I just love... Hey.
I'm careful what I say around him. I also try to make sure I pass on good energy-saving habits. You should too. Save energy and money at TogetherWeSave.com. You know, my dad is the coolest.
My dad thinks he's funny.
Umatilla Electric Cooperative, your Touchstone member cooperative, making life better for their members.
KOHU, Hermiston.
So I'm down for the Tom Denchel Ford Country halftime show. The Tom Denchel Ford Country family serving your family and our community. And here on the halftime coverage of tonight's 5A playing game for the Bulldogs taking on the Pioneers, we have Rich Harshberger, head coach of the boys soccer team. Their play-in matchup is tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock at Sandstone Middle School against the Milwaukee Mustangs. Coach, you got to get Pendleton last week, got the big win there. Did that get you back on the right track, you felt, after a couple of games there that weren't the result you would want against Hood River and the Dalles?
Absolutely. That was a big win for us, and it was real important for us to go out and establish ourselves and get that win.
When you look at that second half of the CRC, was there one single thing that you would point to that kind of shifted against you guys for a little bit?
You know, not any one thing, maybe just a little bit of a lack of focus there right in the midpoint when we faced the Dalles at home, but not any one thing that I could put my hand on.
And what was it that stood out for you in the win over Pendleton?
The boys just came out and played their game. It was real important for us to go and impose ourselves on them and make sure that we brought Pendleton up to our level, and we didn't play down to their level. And I feel like they did that pretty well.
As you look at this regular season as a whole, and obviously it's not time to start putting bows on this season, but to this point, assess how this has gone for you this year.
It's gone incredible. You know, I knew I had a talented group at the beginning of the year. I knew I had a talented group at the end of last year, and I was very excited for this year, and it's gone better than I could have hoped for, even with a little hiccup in the bumps there midway through the league, you know, just losing out on the league championship. It was still a great season, and I'm very proud of these boys and what we've accomplished this year so far.
And you and I talked about it, probably that Dalles-Wetumpka tie at your place, that you guys were at that point kind of in uncharted waters for this program. And are things feel a little bit more comfortable now? Have you guys felt a little bit more comfortable being a front runner?
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be interesting because, you know, we're obviously the front runner in tomorrow's game, but after that, if, you know, granted that we make it past there, we're going to be back in the old, you know, coming from behind underdog seat, which we're maybe a little bit more used to.
Let's talk about this matchup. It's going to be at Sandstone, 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And the Milwaukee Mustangs, a team you played in the non-conference schedule early on in September and came away with a 2-1 victory. What do you remember standing out about that 80 minutes?
I remember that we didn't start very well. I remember we had a couple injuries. But I also remember that, you know, Milwaukee brought it, and we had a hard time establishing ourselves. And so, you know, once again, that's just going to be a big key for us, is to go out and establish ourselves, establish our game. Bring intensity has been the key word in practice for the last week, and just making sure that we're playing an intense level of soccer that brings them up to our level, and we're not taking anything for granted.
When we look at individuals, and I don't think this is particularly a surprise, but it must be pretty special to have the goalkeeper of the year in Ricardo Sotelo.
Absolutely. I couldn't be prouder of Ricardo, and that's just all him. That's him stepping up from last year, stepping up his game from last year, and just really being recognized by the coaches in the CRC. And, you know, it was no contest. I mean, there were other names in there, but there wasn't even any ties or anything like that with a 4-team league that can happen like it did last year, and it was just cut and dry, straightforward, and I was very, very proud of Ricardo.
He's had moments this year where he has arguably won games for you. He's saved games for you. Is there a moment that you remember at this point that kind of stands out as, yep, that's Ricardo being Ricardo?
It's got to be when Hood River came to Hermiston, because without Ricardo in the net, we would have lost that game, guaranteed. He was definitely our man of the match, and he's almost single-handedly propelled us up into the #1 spot there in the state for about a week with his performance against Hood River, and that's also what I think helped cement his goalkeeper of the year position as well.
Kind of like you knew what you were going to get from Ricardo at that position. It seems like it'd be fair to say you knew what you were going to get from Oscar Contreras, who was named co-player of the year in the CRC, right in the middle of the pitch for you.
Absolutely. Those are big shoes to fill, and it wasn't an automatic bid for Oscar to get player of the year again. But I feel that Oscar's matured, and he's upped his game as well. He's another player that just didn't say, okay, well, I've got first team all league, first team all state player of the year, so I can just sit on my laurels now. He's upped his game. He's become a better player. He's become a better leader, and I couldn't be happier or more proud of Oscar as well, or all my boys.
It seems like a very deserving honor too for Pedro Cadenas. Not just the goals, but the fact that nobody who played, especially in conference, was unaware of what Pedro could and would do to them.
Absolutely, and he still went out there and did it. Consistently, usually in the second game, they realized they needed to put 2-3 guys on Pedro to shut him down, and that's effectively what it took to stop Pedro from scoring goals.
Those 3 guys get a lot of the headlines. Talk about Elias Velasco, because he's also #1 first team guy for you.
Absolutely. Elias has really stepped it up in the second half of the season, I feel like. And he's just kind of been a workhorse for us all season. He's kind of just been there behind the lines. I can play him anywhere in the midfield or even going forward. And he's doing a real good job either side of the pitch. And he just really came out. He had a couple goals against Pendleton, a couple important goals early on in the season as well. And just once again another player that I feel has really stepped up this year, and I'm really happy he's a junior, and I get him again next year, because I'm looking definitely for him to fill some of those leadership positions that are going to be void next year.
All right, those were the
Yeah, Hermiston High Marching Band. The Hermiston High Band would like to thank Eastern Oregon Telecom for donating money for the new drum heads and Apollo Heating and Air for donating money for the purchase of the new sousaphones for the marching band. Thank you, Eastern Oregon Telecom and Apollo Heating and Air. Scores from around the state in playing action right now, all at halftime. 11 and 12, Bend 0, Mountain View. Mountain View over Park Rose 28-0 at the half. Churchill leading Milwaukee 14-6. Hood River 14. Rex Putnam 7 at the half. And at the half in Portland and Roosevelt 29, Pendleton 13.
Get a second pair at half off. Bulldogs up 21-0 here, and it is the Hermiston team clad in all black uniforms with gold helmets, purple numerals trimmed in a shadow gold here tonight. Most of the guys, in fact, I don't see any pink left, as for the month of October they did wear pink socks and all sorts of things for breast cancer awareness. The visiting Sandy Pioneers, white tops. They've got the red or crimson pants, and they've got white helmets as well. Numerals on the sides of their helmets and red numbers on the front and the backs of their jerseys. Sandy's going to start with the ball on offense here in the second half, trailing 21-0. Jared Munsterman has the ball teed to kick away, as he's got just a touch of wind behind him here. Steady key to the second half for Hermiston.
Continue with the tough flying defense. I mean, you can't let this young guy back there for Sandy Adams get his footing, get his arm and gear, because he can change the outcome of this game really fast.
Before we kick things off, why don't we switch over to the other side of the field? Everybody was lined up the wrong way there to start things off in the second half. And now it's going to be Hermiston kicking to the right, as the Pioneers will move right to left here in the second half. Munsterman has it teed. And now we are ready to go as Hermiston gets set to kick this one away. Robinson is back to receive the kick. Over towards the right, and they're going to kick it his way. He will drop back and take it at about the 8-yard line. Coming up the right hash mark is at the 15-20, and that's where he is going to be stopped, just across the 20-yard line, up to about the 22, 23, maybe even mark him at the 24 there to start things off in the second half of play.
And Eric, that's what you wanted to see, that Hermiston got back down there. That time, 7 bodies on top of the football, and that's what you want. You want everybody flying to the football.
First down 10 for the Pioneers, and it's going to be Justin Adams going under center with the I formation behind him. Kyle Bateman dots the I on first down and 10. Handoff, Bateman edging to his right, pushes forward over right tackle to the 27-yard line. 3-yard gain on the opening play of the second half.
Number 24, Jeremy Funk on the carry.
Check that Funk on that carry.
29-yard line, gain of about 4.
Second about 7 coming up for Sandy.
Harmon in on the play.
Right hash mark set, Adams under center again. And it's going to be play action. Looking to throw left side. Out of trouble, dumps it off. It's going to be Robinson across the 35, where he is brought down by a trio of black shirts up to the 36-yard line. Nice job by Adams there to make himself some extra time, scrambling away from the pressure. And it was a Hamblin in there along with Mortar on the tackle.
The reception was good for the first and 10.
Nice little play of about 8 yards that time, Eric. And, Robinson is just having a pretty good night out there, coming up underneath for the catches.
First down 10 from the 36, handoff. It's going to be Funk, puts his shoulder down and nowhere to go. Trying to run right, and that just wasn't going to happen.
That was Jacob Batiste that absolutely looked at the center and put him back in the hole there.
Well, sandwiched him, because it was Batiste one side, John Kuchar on the other side. No gain on the play. Second down and 10 on the way. 90 seconds gone here in the third quarter. Bulldogs up by 3 scores. Adams under center again. 2 wide left side, 1 man to the right. He's going to play action. Get pressured and sacked back in the backfield, back at the 29-yard line. 4 sacks last week. There's his first here this week.
7-yard sack that time of the quarterback.
Wow. Just came off the defensive end untouched to the quarterback on that play. Ball, nose of the ball on the 30-yard line here. A 3rd down and 16 coming up. Shotgun set for Adams. Back is to his right. 3 wide right side. He's looking left now, deep down the field. Tosses it too far for short, about 5 yards too long. In there on the coverage was Costa Rodriguez, who has one of 3 interceptions. Hermiston now has 32 forced turnovers this season. And 17 of them have been via the fumble. They have more interceptions than they have fumble recoveries.
Wow.
Maybe, I mean, that wouldn't be that big of a deal if the numbers were low, but these are big numbers, and to have more INTs than fumble recoveries. 4th down and 16. Adams, the punter, and he will get it away. Not quite as much pressure as Hermiston had been showing. Off the edge of his foot, far sideline, goes out of bounds. Somewhere across midfield, they're going to have to mark this one off. As George Gillette, the white hat, has his hand in the air, and he will say stop. Just short of the 49-yard line. Hermiston will have good field position, take it over with 9:33 on the clock, leading 21-0.
Hermiston takes possession, 1st and 10 at their own 49.
You know, nice first possession by Hermiston out of the second half there on defense, and holding Sandy to the punt.
Chase Knudsen is going to go under center. The sophomore quarterback takes a snap, throws it quickly out to Cole Smith of the right side into the slot, gets across the 40, down inside, still holding on to the ball as Sandy tries to fight it away from him, finally thrown down. 2 points for the takedown as Smith gets down to the 37-yard line. It's going to be enough for a 14-yard gain and a 1st down.
Nice job by Smith of holding on to that football, you know, and a great job by Chase, noticing the hot route and getting it to him as quickly as he did.
1st down and 10. Bulldogs now in Sandy territory, up 21-0. 2 wide left side. Knudsen hands off. Anto straight up the gut. Breaks through the tacklers. Gets across the 30-yard line before the middle linebackers knock him down at the 27-yard line. Anto, though, is down on the play, and Dan Emery was quick off the sideline. There is Anto is grabbing his arm. Excuse me, that was not Dan Emery. That was somebody else off the sideline. Anto now makes it to the sideline. And so Hermiston will put Corey Adams, the sophomore, back in, who has 90 carries and 449 yards and 3 touchdowns this season. 1st down and 10 after the Anto run from the 28-yard line. Throw it over the right side. Barnett's got it inside the 20 down to the 15-yard line, where Robinson brings him down along with Gorski on the play. Down to the 13, and it's another 1st down for Hermiston.
Another nice 12-yard gain by Barnett. You know, that's a plus that you have there, that height and that strength.
Anto being checked out on the sidelines. Adams at 8-man, 1st down and 10 from the 13. Adams takes a handoff, edges out to his left, cuts back to the middle of the field, and he is going to be inside the 10, down near the 5-yard line, exactly the 5-yard line on the carry. 7-yard gain for Adams on the play. Fresh legs there for Hermiston in the backfield.
Yeah, and then that's one thing the teams are going to have to go with is Adams is a suitable replacement back there.
2nd and about 2.
From the 5, Knudsen under center, hands off. Adams running to the right side this time, gets out to the corner, puts his shoulder down, gets into the end zone. Touchdown Hermiston from 5 yards out.
Wow, lightning. You like that, Eric. You know, it's been a while since he's got a chance to run the ball a whole lot, but you can tell he wants this thing badly.
8:26 on the clock. Ramon Contreras out for the extra point out of the hold of Herminio Alvarado. David Barnett, the long snap. Contreras gets it up, gets it through. 4 for 4 on the night. 28-0 Hermiston. 8:26 on the clock here in the third period. We'll take the break on 1360 KOHU.
Check the latest Primark newspaper insert for even more ways to save. Extra membership savings are special buys on the front page, waiting there just for you. We work hard to bring you even greater values on the things your family needs and uses all the time. Check your newspaper, the ad center at Weimart, or Weimart.com for the current extra membership savings. Available only at Weimart. We own it, and it shows.
So you're driving to work in the morning when you hit a detour down a gravel road for 18 miles. Luckily, every car or pickup tire that Les Schwab sells comes with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you. Along with great prices, we give you free flat repairs, rebalancing, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. So, why lifetime protection? Because you just might need it. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Hermiston.
Munsterman's kicks a little low bouncer over to the far sideline, rolling around the 20, does finally take a left turn out of bounds.
Wait a minute, they can't throw a penalty on that. Sandy kid touched it.
Well, it depends if they saw it or not.
I think this guy here did see it. I think he saw this and went out.
From the near side is going all the way over there.
No, he didn't. He's not.
Just to get the ball, because to get the kicking ball. So illegal procedure.
Penalty marker on the play. Illegal procedure to kick without a bounds on the Bulldogs. The ball will be spotted at the 35. First and 10 Pioneers.
Yeah, you could see that ball definitely take a different angle after it touched the hand, went by, but it had a lot of smoke on it, so there's no way that front guy was going to catch that one.
From the 35-yard line, first down and 10 for Justin Adams, the senior quarterback. Takes a snap, looking left, looking, throws down into the slot, jumps it off. Robinson has it there at the 40-yard line. 5-yard gain on the opening play of this drive. It has been punt, interception, punt, 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 interception, punt for Sandy here tonight. They're down 28-0 with 8 minutes left in the third quarter.
You know, sooner or later they are going to have to open this up, and they're going to have to go down deep in order to be able to go get some scores on the board. 2nd and 5. They can go deep. They'll throw it high to the air off the hands of Short, incomplete. Karsten Short, the senior, just out of his reach. And so it's going to be now a third down and a short 5. The ball is right about the 40-yard line. They need to get across the 45. That spot got better that time, so let's go back and make the last play 6 yards gained. 3rd down and 4. Right in the middle of the field here. Adams is going to have an empty backfield. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. And the senior quarterback looking to throw right side, into the hands of Short across midfield. He breaks a tackle down to the Hermiston 44-yard line. That time he's going to gain 15 yards at a first down for the Pioneers.
Rodriguez.
7:42 on the clock in the third period. Bulldogs up 28-0.
Bulldogs first and 10 Pioneers.
Sandy huddling up. Adams will bring the play in for the far sideline. The offensive coordinator, Gunnar Sutterberg. We said earlier, he lives in Tigard. The defensive coordinator, Rob Kuhl, lives in Woodburn and commutes to practice every day. First down and 10, pressure. He's going to get away from Alexander, throw to the near sideline, incomplete. Short was in the area, but it was Colby Alexander, the defensive end, a junior who stands at 6'2", 210, who pressured Adams away from his pocket and made him rush the throw. It's been a while since Sandy's had it in Hermiston territory. They got it at their 44-yard line right now. 2nd down and 10 to go. Short to the left with Vizon. 2 to the right as well for Adams. With the back to his left. Looking left. Throws over the middle. Tip pass. It's going to be picked off. Costa's got it. He's at the 40. 45. Breaks away. He's across midfield. He's got blockers in front of him. Hermiston's down to the 30. Costa comes back to the middle of the field. Breaks away from attacker at the 20. At the 15. And he is brought down inside the 15. Flag out on the play as Costa returns it to the 13-yard line. That ball was tipped in the interior, I think, by Hamblin, and then Costa picked it off right around the 30-yard line is where he had the ball when he started that return, and he returned it all the way down to the 13-yard line. Flags out on the play. They got to talk about this one because Costa was tackled up in the helmet area, and it's a question of whether or not they got the face mask. It appears they did, and it's a question of whether or not it was incidental or a personal foul.
Yeah, great job that time. Like we talked in the pregame, Eric, and on the tailgate show about this defense. If you get a ball or you lob it or it gets tipped and you're playing center field with this Hermiston, they close so quickly and so well on passes that are either overthrown, lobbed, or tipped.
2 fouls on the play. Face mask on Sandy. Dead ball personal foul against Hermiston after the play was over. So they're going to move it back to the 22-yard line after the second penalty. It went half the distance to the goal after the face mask, and then a post-play penalty that brings it back 15 yards.
Personal foul face mask against the Pioneers. Personal foul against the Bulldogs.
So the Bulldogs have it. 7:03 from the Sandy 22. Canuts to throw. Near sideline into the hands of Hamblin. At the 15, Hamblin is wrestled out of bounds by Robinson. As Hamblin gets it back to the 13-yard line where it had been returned by Costa Rodriguez on that interception. 8-yard gain on the pass to Hamblin, who's got 8 receptions on the season now for about 60 yards. Anto is back into the game. Good news for Hermiston. He takes his handoff, coming right, makes a man miss, turns back upfield at the numbers, breaks away from another tackler inside the 5, near the goal line, and he is in for a touchdown.
Wow, what a run. That is the way to show him your back, kid. Nice job.
Now, I'm not entirely convinced that Trenton didn't fumble that into the end zone, and Damian Martinez ended up with the ball on the play. And Damian Martinez is getting all sorts of hooting and hollering as the guys line up for the extra point. I think Anto fumbled it, and Martinez recovered it for the score.
I'm not sure, Eric. All I know is he was right on. He was right on Damian Martinez's hip the whole time.
Kick is up, kick is good. 6:44 left. 35-0 here in Hermiston at what is most likely going to be the final game played at Kettison Field at Bulldog Stadium in its current iteration. Now, we don't put the cart in front of the horse here, but if Hermiston is able to continue their success tonight against Sandy and they were to win and move into the round of 16, they are guaranteed a trip on the road. In fact, everybody playing tonight in 5A football will be on the road next week to one of the 8 teams that are on a bye this week in the OSAA's round of 16. If the round goes chalk, Hermiston will go to Marist in Eugene next week. But we have to see whether or not the round stays chalk. And that is still to be determined. We hope to have that information by the time we sign off here this evening. Even if Hermiston were to win on the road next week at Marist, they would need an upset in the other half of their quarter, because in the first 2 rounds, it is the lower-ranked team. So if Hermiston beats Marist, which would be a 6 beating a 3, if the 7 doesn't beat the 2, which is going to be unlikely, then Hermiston will travel twice. Kick is going to be a liner over to the far sideline, taken just inside the 5-yard line, 3-yard line, coming up the far side, across the 20, spin around up towards the 30-yard line. And it's going to be Sorry on the return, and they get him to the 26-yard line. That's where Sandy will take over with 6:37 left. So that was either Anto's 15th rushing touchdown of the season or Damian Martinez's first touchdown of his high school career. And the way everybody reacted afterwards, Anto kind of frustratedly to the sidelines, and Martinez, as giddy as could be, I think Martinez got a touchdown there on that play. 6:37 left here. It's going to be Adams dropping to throw, looking over the middle, deep downfield, short, and Chase has the catch inside the Hermiston 40, down at the 37-yard line. It was Contreras on his hip who made the stop. Check that, Costa makes the tackle down to the 36-yard line. So they're just chucking it, and that one hit for sure.
38 yards to short that time.
6.5 minutes left in the third quarter. 35-0 Hermiston. The Sandy Pioneers with the ball in Hermiston territory at the 36. Adams, straight drop, time, lots of time. Throws to the end zone. Deep right corner, up in the air, incomplete. That time Costa knocked it away, guarding short. This Karsten Short kid, there's a reason Costa Rodriguez is on him. Against Sherwood, 7 receptions, 215 yards. He actually had a couple of 200-yard games this year, but missed a couple of games as well due to injury. Last week, 96 yards on just 3 receptions, had a touchdown in the loss to Wilsonville. 2nd down and 10 from the 36. Adams to tee it up again. No, he's going to hand off. Funk right side. Funk gets stopped, pushes back forward, does get across the 35-yard line of the second effort. About a 2-yard gain on the play for the junior running back.
Jeremy Funk on the carry. Tackle for about a 2-yard gain. Barnett.
Good pressure there by Batiste to get back into the backfield. Kucher Barnett in to make the stop. Now 3rd down and 8 for Sandy. It's definitely 4-down territory here, so Hermiston's defense has to know they got to make 2 stops of the senior quarterback, Justin Adams. Straight drop, looking left. He'll throw, no pump. Now he'll throw back to the near sideline, incomplete. Robinson had cut in, and Adams thought he was going to go out. 4th down and 9 from the 34-yard line. Tail the ball right on the 35, just across the 35. Right hash mark set. Adams still over on the sideline, and now a timeout's going to be called by Sandy. 5:36 left here in the third quarter. 35-0 Hermiston's advantage. We'll take the break as well on 1360 KOHU.
He's on the 40. He's on the 30. The 20. The 10. It's a touchdown.
There's nothing like the excitement of a high school game. It's the best entertainment in town. Support our area schools. Go to the games and see our student athletes in action. Now that's entertainment. Old West Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. When you grow, we grow.
It's important to keep your vehicle running at peak performance. At Swain Motors, you can rely on GM factory trained technicians for all of your GM warranty work, including Chevy and Oldsmobile vehicles. The service department at Swain Motors can repair estimates from you. So you know your vehicle will perform at its best. And remember, all service includes a free wash and vacuum of your vehicle. Call the Swain Motors service department today for your next appointment. Swain Motors, North Highway 315, Hermiston.
Adams taken down the backfield.
Lunch there as it was Colby Alexander, John Kucher, and Kevin Hammond, who met at the quarterback on 4th down and 9. A 6-yard loss back to the 40 and a turnover on downs for the Sandy Pioneers as Hermiston brought the pressure in the right places. Defensive coordinator David Faitete drawing up the right type of blitz on that 4th down and long play to get the turnover on downs and the ball back in the Bulldogs' hands. Chase Knutz under center. Trenton Anto behind him. 1st down and 10 from the 40. It's going to be Anto coming to right side. Gets out to the edge, down the hash marks, bounces away from a tackler at the 50-yard line. A 10-yard gain on the opening play of this drive. So Anto, you had said off air, maybe just hit his funny bone or something there. He's kind of shaking his arm a little bit. He hit his wrist or his elbow or something. And Corey Adams came in. Adams is in now. After that is a 1st down run. 17th 1st down of the game for Hermiston from the midfield stripe. It's going to be Adams. Straight up the gut, edges to his right, and then stopped and thrown backwards after a gain into Sandy territory to the 48-yard line. It was a 2-point takedown, though, for Kevin Tenike. And so it's going to be a 2nd down and 8 coming up. Adams, the sophomore, back behind the sophomore quarterback, Knutz. Adams takes it outside zone left side, gets to the 45-yard line when C.J. McKinnis, the 3rd, brings him down. 4-yard carry.
Stop for the Pioneers, number 30, C.J. McKinnis.
And it's going to be a 3rd down and 5 coming up for the Bulldogs. Under 4 minutes left here in the 3rd period. Hermiston leading 35-0. 2 wide right for Knutz. He's going to hand off. Adams coming right. Gets out to the edge. He's at the 40 and upended on the outside by Cody Welty. 1st down run up to the 33-yard line.
Nice 7-yard little jaunt there, Eric. Good job by Corey, busting around the corner, holding on to that football.
Inside the 40 and about the 38.
So it is another 1st down on this drive. Hermiston is just taking full control of this one. Knutz will go under center, split backs behind him. Adams to the right, Hamlin to the left. He's looking to throw. Throws it low and incomplete. Trying to get to Ortiz.
Yeah, Ortiz got grabbed on the inside on the break. And the official right there, I guess, who knows? It's but you could see his arm being trailed behind him.
2nd down and 10 to go. Right hash mark set from the 38-yard line. Ortiz will go wide to the left. 2 tight ends in here. Barnett right, Munsterman left. Split backs to the backfield. Hamlin left, and then Anto takes a handoff right up the gut. Breaks away from a tackler near side, lays at the 30. Stiff arms another man, 25. Runs over the top of another guy as Faison brings him down to the 20-yard line. Trenton Anto rushes over people for the 1st down.
17-yard gain that time for Trenton. That puts him up to 161 yards now, Eric.
He is 16 yards away from 1,000 on the season. Down to the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Split backs again. Anto again. Running right. Gets tripped up after he gets down to the 16-yard line. 3-yard gain. 3 minutes, 10 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. And the Bulldogs' advantage is 35-0 as they methodically chip away here. 2nd and 7 to go. Right hash mark again. Anto again coming right outside. Turns upfield at the hash marks. He's outside the numbers now at the 10. Runs over the top of a tackler. Stepped out of bounds. Right around the 70-yard line or so. There's a flag out on the play. As Anto gets down to the 70-yard line. It'd be enough for a 1st down at about a 10-yard carry. We wait for the signal here. Face mask is the penalty. 5-yard variety, but it's going to be half distance anyways from the 7.
Penalty will take the ball.
So it'll take it inside the 5-yard line.
5 to about the 3. First and goal, Bulldogs.
6 penalty against the Sandy Pioneers for 50 yards here tonight. 2:45 left in the 3rd quarter. Knutz has Anto behind him, the sophomore quarterback. Play action, looking left, throws it towards the corner of the end zone. It's going to be complete to Musterman for the touchdown. Jared Munsterman makes the catch. And on the coverage, Chase Stomets looked like he was going to bat that one down. And somehow it just got past his hand for the score.
Yeah, Tough break there because it did look like he had that thing defended pretty well. And Chase just had enough zip on the ball to get it into Munsterman's hands.
Remedios Alvarado to hold. The kick is up. It is no good to the left. So there's a miss to make it 41-0. Hermiston on top here tonight at Kinnison Field. 2:37 left here in the third quarter of play. That drive ended up taking a bit more off the clock. In fact, it took 2 minutes and 36 seconds off the clock. Ended up going 8 plays and the Canuts to Munsterman touchdown pass. It's the third touchdown pass for the sophomore Chase Canuts on the season to bring him 18 on the year. He has been intercepted here tonight. That's his 6th of the season. But Hermiston has 4 interceptions of Justin Adams. And it brings their takeaway total up to 18 interceptions. And they have a total now of 33 takeaways on the season. Quite a remarkable number.
Yeah, it is, and that's, you know, that, Eric, one thing about it is that is coachable, a lot of that, because on the fumbles especially, that's putting a hard hat on the ball and knocking it away. On the interceptions, that is just absolutely not only, you know, instinct, but that's putting yourself defensively in the right position.
Bulldogs to kick it away here, 2:37 in the third quarter, leading 41-0 over the Sandy Pioneers. Get you a Lifetime Vision Source scoreboard update.
For the Bulldogs, number 10, Jared.
After the kickoff, Munsterman's kick is away as it is cooling off here. Start to see your breath, and that's going to go into the end zone. Sandy will have it at the 20-yard line. What do we got around 5A? Churchill 27, Milwaukee 13 in the third quarter. Ashland all over Corvallis 40-0. That one's in the third quarter of play. Crescent Valley 21, Eagle Point 6. That is in the third quarter of action. Lebanon 12, Bend 8 in the fourth quarter now. Mountain View all over Park Rose 42-6. Roosevelt 29, Pendleton 13. That was the halftime score there. Hood River into the fourth quarter, up 14-7 over Putnam. Handoff running right side, and maybe a yard to gain there on the play for Kyle Bateman. And that'll round up the 5A here on 1360 KOHU Hermiston.
Joe gave me a Hepner 30-8 score.
They are hosting Weston McEwen. Hepner's going to be the Blue Mountain Conference champions again. Weston McEwen last year broke that string of over a decade. But it's going to be Hepner here in 2012. Adams gets away from a sack. Now he's going to be brought down. He had gotten away initially, but it's Harmon. Jacob Harmon gets the sack. -4. Third down and 13, back to the 17-yard line. Right hash mark set with 1:35 left here in the third period. 41-0 Bulldogs. Justin Adams will have 2 receivers to each side. Back stands to his left here on 3rd and long. Blitz up the middle. Time to throw. He got good protection. Near sideline, incomplete off of the hands of Robinson, who's had a really good game. And that time, I don't know if he heard footsteps because he had Ramon Contreras closing on him. It's an incompletion.
Tell you what, that ball was zipped. You could see that thing coming through his hands, you know, as it went into the Hermiston sidelines. This Adams is a pretty impressive quarterback. He throws the ball very, very hard.
4th down and 13. Adams is back to punt. And Preston Mortar to receive. He gets the punt away. And it is going to be Mortar who takes it at the 42-yard line. Coming to your side, he gets away from one tackler. He's at midfield. Now into Sandy territory. He's at the 40, moves down the left hash mark. There's a flag out on the play, and there's a flag out back at the line of scrimmage as Mortar's return gets it down to the Sandy 37-yard line. His return goes for 21 yards. But we check on markers in 2 different locations on the field with 1 minute and 1 second left in the third quarter. Hermiston leading 41-0 and getting the ball back. If they're both in play and one's on one, one's on the other, then it'll be offsetting.
So it'll be a re-kick.
Temperatures really dropped down here. Let's see what the fancy phone says, because it's getting quite chilly around here. "54 degrees" it says. Right. Still waiting, although they're talking with Sandy right now. So here come the indications. 2 penalties out. Both on Hermiston. Block in the back, declined. Personal foul. They're going to call roughing. I assume the kicker, he didn't indicate it, but I'm going to assume they're going to call roughing the kicker there. 15 yards, and it'll be a first down for Sandy. That is the 3rd penalty of the 15-yard variety against Hermiston. 1 pass interference, 2 personal fouls, and it moves the ball to the 32-yard line. And David Faitete is waving his hands, wants some semblance of an explanation here on the near sideline.
The punter never did go down, Eric. That's what I don't get. The punter never went down. You can have a running into the punter, but the punter never went down on that.
Well, clock spinning, under a minute left here in the third quarter. Adams to throw over the middle. It's going to be caught, and at midfield,
the pass from Adams falls.
Coleman Krusik, the senior, catches the ball. 18-yard gain.
At the midfield strike.
That's going to be the 10th first down of the game for the Pioneers. Excuse me, the 11th, because of the first down off of the penalty. And so first down and 10 for Justin Adams at the midfield stripe. Roosevelt 29, Pendleton 20, late in the third quarter on the Lifetime Vision Source scoreboard. Half minute left here in the third period. High snap. Adams pulls it down, hands off to Bateman, running right, nowhere to go. There's a flag out on the play as David Barnett dropped Bateman right on the top of the line of scrimmage, which is at the 50-yard line. In fact, he's shaking his right leg a little bit there. And the indication is against Sandy. And we'll see if they're going to take it. They will. So it'll be the 7th penalty against Sandy for now 60 yards of the game. 22 seconds left here in the third quarter. Bulldogs lead is 41-0. This is a play-in round, so theoretically Hermiston is a touchdown away from a running clock for the fourth quarter. The clock is spinning right now, although the officials are going to get together. And no, they're going to run the clock, and Sandy's going to let the clock run out. That'll bring us to the end of the third. 41-0 Hermiston. Move it into the fourth quarter on 1360 KOHU. When you're looking for a new vehicle, look to one place for all your automotive needs. The Swain Automotive Group. With Harley Swain Subaru and Swain Motors, you'll find new Subarus, Buicks, Pontiacs, and GMC trucks. You can also choose from a large selection of quality used vehicles. The Swain Automotive Group is a family-owned local business that's been dedicated to providing excellent customer service to our community for over 30 years. Stop in today at Swain Motors and Harley Swain Subaru in Hermiston, part of the Swain Automotive Group. Making a hearty meal today from USA Subs and Grill. Enjoy delicious grilled starters like the Philly cheesesteak sub, or try the chicken fajita sub with grilled chicken, green peppers, and onions, with a mild taco sauce on top of tomato and lettuce. Finish off your meal with the famous American cheese fries and a nice cold drink. Fill up for lunch and dinner at USA Subs and Grill in the Hungary Square Hermiston. USA Subs and Grill, made fresh in the USA. 0 here in the 5A play-in round. Bulldogs will move into the round of 16, barring some type of really probably never before seen here miracle at Kettison. I know there have been a lot of pretty wild stories from here as far as the ending of football games, but boy, I can't imagine that one up. 41-0 down with 12 minutes left to play. Sandy does have the ball, first down and 20 after a penalty, and it's going to be a handoff coming to the right side, nowhere to go. In fact, a loss of 1 on the play, and the ball carrier that time was Bateman, the senior running back, one of the 4 captains on the offense. Justin Adams, the quarterback, and then the tackles. Adam Scholl on the right, and Justin Bruder on the left.
Jacob
Batiste in there on another stop for Hermiston.
Barnett.
And Barnett is being checked out over by trainer Dan Emery here. I told you he'd come out shaking his leg a little bit after the last tackle of loss he made. An incomplete pass over the near sideline. It was a little bit the route there. Ryan Skidmore, the sophomore receiver, really just didn't cut back for Adams on the play. And so it's going to be a 3rd down and 21 coming up.
3rd and 20.
Justin Adams, his head coach Greg Barton says he's not sure what type of decision he's going to make as far as the future. 2 wide each side as he drops, pressure, rolls out to his left, gets away from the pressure initially. Batiste in chase, he'll get away from him, and then will run out of bounds before trying to take on Kevin Ahman. Just short of the midfield stripe, they'll say out at the 40-70-yard line. 70-yard rush there for Adams on the scramble.
50 at about the 47-yard line.
And so it's a 4th down and 13. Barton says, you know, he obviously quarterback, actually, they think he could have been 6'6", 230. Heck of a tight end as well. I mean, he's actually had a couple of pass catching options. We've seen Joshua Vison as a quarterback a few times here tonight with him out wide. They are going to go for it from the 47 in their territory. 4th down and 13 to go. Straight drop for Adams. Now rolling right. Pressure from his backside. Will throw incomplete to the near sideline. Turnover on downs.
The pass from Adams falls incomplete intended for number 13.
Yeah, that time just great pressure coming to after him. They're chasing him out of the pocket. Couldn't get it close to anybody on the sidelines.
The thing about Adams, though, is he's also apparently a great basketball player and a tremendous baseball player as well. So that's what Barton says. He's not sure where his senior is going to make a decision because he's got those 3 different options.
Great, and his size, all 3 sports, is great size for all 3 sports that he's playing.
First down and a 10 for the Bulldogs as they take over with 11:05 on the clock here in the 4th quarter, up 41-0. And now Hermiston will have a timeout here. Personnel not what they were looking for. And so we will make the change. It was interesting. Barton said, you know, he's coached in a lot of places. Here in the state of Oregon, this is his first head coaching job, but he coached last year with Sandy. He knows Frank Geske very well. He runs the Barton Academy, which actually came out to Hermiston about 3 years back. He helped out at Jesuit for a long time. He coached at Beaverton for quite some time as well, as he had his son Taylor, who ended up really being one of the top quarterbacks in Oregon history at Beaverton. Led them to a state title in 1996. Anyways, that career also took him into the college ranks, and at one time, Michigan State. And he said, you know, when we were there and we were looking at kids like Adams, who were proficient at all 3 sports, it was a little bit tough because, you know, if he was going to be there for 2 years but then switch sports on you, you'd miss out on the other guy you were recruiting. And so you had to kind of skirt that thin line there, but there are definitely interests for him at each sport and a couple of different levels as well. All right, here out of the Hermiston timeout, it's going to be handoff Alex Campbell in the backfield. Breaks away from some tacklers coming near sideline, still on his feet, right around the 41-yard line. As Alex Campbell, we had heard that he might take some carries here tonight as they try to rotate in Adams as well as Anto, and now Campbell gets a carry. This carry was good for a 6-yard gain. And 4th down and 4. Campbell again, the deep man, as Canuts will hand off to him. Campbell, big hole straight up the middle, breaks through across the 30-yard line down to the 25, and he is brought down by Rhett Shiparuk, a junior defensive back, after Campbell's rush for another 1st down.
16 yards on that rumble there, Eric. He is, I tell you what, he's a load to bring down. He's a true fullback. He really is.
Just another guy who runs very similar to Anto, as it turns out. Cole Smith is the receiver wide right. 2 tight ends in on 1st down and 10 for the 25. Handoff out. Alex Campbell bounces off of a tackler. Stopped at the 25-yard line. That time Sandy was able to get out to the edge on him. Sandy's a pretty quick team defending out on the edge. A lot of Hermiston's success running the ball tonight has been up the middle. 1-yard loss on the play. 36-20, Roosevelt is up on Pendleton, as that one is somewhere into the 4th quarter now. On your Lifetime Vision Source scoreboard update. 9.5 minutes left here, just about in the 4th quarter. Handoff, Anto's back into the game, comes straight up the gut, gets a couple down to the 23-yard line. Give him a 3-yard gain as McKinnis III makes the stop. He's going to have near double-digit tackles tonight. That sophomore inside linebacker for the Pioneers. Future bright in a lot of spots for Sandy. Greg Barton actually coached the freshmen as well as the head coach of the freshmen and spent a lot of practice time with them this season. He says they really look good, and it was good to be able to spend time on them. 3rd down and 9, Campbell running right outside zone, gets down right around the 20-yard line where he runs right over the top of the tackler, Welty. Give him another 3-yard gain, but it's going to be 4th down and about 6 to go for Hermiston. You'd be looking at, with the flag lane prone, about a 37-yard field goal. But they're going to try to extend this drive here on 4th and 6. Canuts hands off. Campbell outside zone, left side. He's got the space, got the 1st down. 15-10, shoulder down right around the 3-yard line as he is shoved out of bounds. And Hermiston is able to extend the drive. Get Campbell down to the 4-yard line on that play. 11-yard gain and another 1st down. 22nd 1st down of the night for Hermiston. He went out of bounds, so the clock is paused with 8:19 left here in the 4th period. Bulldogs up 41-0. If they punch it in, it'll be the above a 45-point rule, and we'll start the running clock. Campbell, straight up the gut, got hit hard up the middle on the play. McKinnis III again. I don't know if Campbell got a yard on that play. Maybe a yard.
Number 44, Kyle Bateman.
2nd down and goal coming up. Ball on the left hash mark, 4-yard line. Cole Smith wide right. Barnett the tight end right. Munsterman the tight end left. Campbell, the deep man, takes the handoff to his right, back to his left, makes a man miss. Now he's stopped in the backfield and dropped back around the 6-yard line, loss of 2 on the play. Got away from McKinnis III that time, but then he was stopped by Andrew Spencer, a superb defensive end for Sandy. Just another one of those guys who makes the first-year head coach Greg Barton say the future is bright. 7:15 left here in the 4th quarter. 41-0 Hermiston. And on 3rd down and goal, it's going to be a handoff to Corey Adams. A flag out on the play as Adams gets down 2-yard gain to around the 4-yard line. Indication is against Hermiston. This will be the 10th penalty against Hermiston, and then it's up to Sandy if they want to take it. And give a Hermiston a 3rd down and long. Waiting for the indication, holding against Hermiston. They will take it and move it back 10 yards.
The indication is holding against the Bulldogs.
From the 15-yard line now, third down and goal. Canute's too wide to the right. Hands off to Adams. Straight up the middle, he is going to be stopped. Adam Scholl coming off the edge, made the tackle. Adams getting no gain on the play. Fourth down and goal. Here comes Ramon Contreras. The clock will be spinning as the field goal crew comes out. Left hash mark for Ramon, who missed one to the left on his last extra point. He's going to set Herminio Alvarado at the 22-yard line. It'll be a 32-yard field goal, not a breath of wind to speak of. Snap good. Kick is up to the right. It is just good. From 32 yards out, Contreras makes it 44-0 with 6:21 left.
You know, nice little kick that time. Eric just barely make it over. You can tell he didn't get his full foot into it because, you know, watching what he has capabilities of was definitely from farther out than that.
He was trying to angle that one back towards the middle.
Yeah. Didn't have enough to hook very much. So that nice little kick.
Heard a loud bark down there. It was Micah Mercer, the special teams coach, out there making sure that on this coverage they get down and they take care of business like they're supposed to. Lifetime Vision Sources scoreboard update. What do we know? We know it's 32, or was it 36-0 for Echo over Ione? 34-0, middle of the two. 34-0 Echo over Ione in the fourth quarter. Over in Echo, looks like the Cougars are going to the playoffs this year under second-year headband Rick Thew. The last update we got, it was quite some time ago, was halftime, Stanfield up by a score. In the 5A, Corvallis losing to Ashland, 40-0. That one's probably nearing its end. Churchill 27, Milwaukee 20, as the Mustangs claw back a touchdown, down by just one score now. Crescent Valley 21, Eagle Point 6. That has not been updated since halftime. Munsterman's kicks a spinner. It's going to be taken at the 13-yard line, right up the middle of the field, up to the 20-yard line. Coming to the near sideline, that was a mistake. Back and down at the 20, about 2-yard line, I think is where they'll give his forward progress. Well, that was not a good mark whatsoever for Alexander Sori's return. He got up to the 22, and they mark him at the 20-yard line. 6:15 left. Bulldogs right now pitching the shutout. And lots of starters out there on this drive. In fact, starting 11 out there for Hermiston. And they're going to put Justin Adams under center on first down and 10 I formation behind him. He'll hand off. It's going to be a loose ball. Scramble under the pile, and Hermiston has it. Did they not?
Nope, they didn't.
It looked like he was indicating that I thought he was pointing Hermiston way.
I thought he was winding the clock, keeping it going. And
number 44, Kyle Bateman.
Bateman on the carry for no gain.
Tackle for no gain.
All right, so second down and 10 from the 20-yard line. 5:40 left here in the fourth quarter. 44-0 Hermiston. Two wide left, and a man to the right is short for Adams. Adams, hands off, right up the middle. Nowhere to go again as Hermiston is able to just pin things back. And Funk on the last two carries, actually. Funk had the last one as well for no gain. He has this one for no gain. Alexander in there along with Batiste on the stop. And so it's going to be a third down and 10. The tail of the ball on the 20-yard line. They're going to send Batiste off for an equipment issue. And Trey Wilson is going to come into the nose tackle position for Hermiston. Junior at the tackle. 5 minutes left. Play action to throw left side, and it's going to be incomplete. Flag out on the play, and that's the right call. Mortar was hugging his hips there before the ball got out to the receiver wide, Ryan Skidmore. And the flag is going to be the 11th against Hermiston. The pass interference penalty is going to push it forward. Go ahead. What did he have?
Just Hefner final 42-0.
42-0. Hefner is going to win the Blue Mountain Conference with a 6-1 record, 7-3. They will go into the playoffs as a top 5 team in the OSAA's RPI. They'll have a home game next week. Penalty moves it up to the 35-yard line. Handoff this time. Bateman gets one up to the 36. 2nd and 9 coming up. Under 5 minutes left here in the 4th quarter.
Not much room there, Eric, at all. There's that front line of Hermiston is just playing very, very well right now.
2nd down and 8 to go. As Justin Adams brings the play in. Hermiston some changes. Rigo Flores is now in at a defensive end. Shotgun set, Adams straight drop to throw over the middle. It's going to be tipped up into the air, picked off. Contreras has again, takes off down the far sideline. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10, into the end zone for a touchdown. Ramon Contreras gets his 2nd interception of the night. 5th one on the game for Hermiston.
Wow.
It's going to be returned from midfield to the end zone for the score.
And that, boy, did you ever see the afterburners on that one? Wow, that kid can run. Nice job of, again, tip ball up in the air. You know a Hermiston kid's going to find it. And unfortunately for Sandy, it was Contreras, probably the fastest kid on the team.
It was off of the fingertips of the senior Coleman Krusik. So Contreras now for the extra point. He's got a 32-yard field goal. He is 4 of 5 for extra points. A block out on the play. There's a flag out on the play. And we'll have to check on the penalty marker. It is false start on Hermiston, and they will decline it. And so the block on the extra point. 50-0 is Hermiston's lead. We'll take a break here. 1360 KOHU.
In 1945, A.E. Sherrill opens his first Chevrolet dealership in Arlington, Oregon. 67 years later, Sherrill Chevrolet is still doing business. Family owned and locally operated, keeping your dollars here in the community. Thank you to all of our valuable customers and friends. We will keep treating you right and making you friends. Here's to another 67 years of good service and community service. Sherrill Chevrolet Hermiston. Chevy runs deep.
Looking for something dependable? Then you're ready for Steel Outdoor Power Equipment. Just a reminder that they'll bring you a full line of equipment built for power and dependability, including trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, shredder vacs, and edgers. Plus, Steel products provide comfort and operating features that help you get the job done right. Are you ready for a speed?
You'll find a full line of Steel power tools at Smitty's Ace Hardware Hermiston.
Monday night, November the 5th. It all starts at 7 o'clock in the main conference at Hermiston High.
Hermiston after a 50-yard interception returned for a touchdown by Ramon Contreras. 4:08 left. We should actually be on running clock now. This is officially a regular season game in the eyes of the OSAA. Kick back to the 5-yard line. Rudder slips. He's at the 10, 15 now, and he'll get up to the 17-yard line before Alexander Sorian is taken down. Herminio Alvarado in on the tackle. And we'll see fresh faces here. C.J. Flores, his Echo Cougars from a year ago, are going to go into the playoffs. He was their quarterback. Now he's been playing a lot of JV ball as a running back and a defensive back. He's going to be out at one defensive back, Preston Mortar at the other. Alvarado in at one safety position. And it's going to be a run up the middle. It's Funk who gets up to the 24-yard line.
Funk got to about the 24-yard line.
So a 6-yard carry on the 7-yard carry on the opening play of this drive.
Gain of about 6, 2nd and 4.
2nd down, long 3, short 4 coming up here. 3 minutes left in regulation. The other safety in there is Kyler McCamey, with Alvarado at the safety positions. Cole Smith is at one outside linebacker, Sterling Hall at the other. Handoff again. It's going to be Funk the Jr. again. Gets a couple. He's going to be short of the first down marker to the 28-yard line after a 2-yard carry. And it'll be a third down and short coming up with 2.5 minutes left. Trey Wilson in at that middle linebacker. Rigo Flores at one defensive end position.
Third, less than a yard.
And at the other defensive end position, no Engelbrecht for Hermiston right now. Tristan Mitchell at a middle linebacker position. Here comes third down and 1. It's going to be a handoff. Bateman stepping up. Alvarado gets the stop on him. It's going to depend on the spot here. As Alvarado, they held him up, and Herminio came in and made the tackle.
Yeah, he's just right over here.
Bateman does get enough for the first down to move the chains. And that's going to be the 13th first down for Sandy. And 1:40 left with a 50-0 lead for Hermiston, as they will move into the OSAA's round of 16. Last year they got Sherwood. This year it is unlikely, well actually it's impossible, that they see Sherwood in the round of 16. First down and 10 from the 29-yard line. On a sweep play, running out to the left side for Sandy is Grayson Fenwick, a freshman. Fenwick's going to get a couple up to the 33-yard line on the far sideline.
Taken out of bounds by number 12.
Gave him 4 there.
Gain of about 4, second and 6.
Second and 6 coming up after the 4-yard gain. As Sandy's getting lots of fresh shirts in there as well. Although some of those offensive linemen still out there. Their depth not quite as much as Hermiston's. Hermiston's still trying to pitch the shutout. Justin Adams is going to drop back into the shotgun here on 2nd and 6 to go. And he's going to hand off, fly sweep coming to the near side, dropped in the backfield on the play. Rigo Flores makes the stop of Easton Lort.
Easton Lort on the carry.
Lort loses 5 on the play. And it's going to be with 20 seconds left. 3rd down and 12.
3rd and 12.
One more play for Sandy if Adams hustles up. He's got 4 wides. Takes a snap. There's flags out on the play. There was a false start there. The clock is at 0s. He moved a little bit early. Should be a 5-yard penalty against him. Hermiston will decline it. And that is going to do it. Bulldogs defense pitches the shutout against the Sandy Pioneers. 50-0 the final score here tonight at Kettison Field at Bulldog Stadium. Hermiston improves to 6 wins to 3 losses. And the Sandy Pioneers will finish with a 3-7 record here this season, as their finish comes here in Hermiston tonight. A very prolific offense gets shut out by the Bulldogs here in Hermiston tonight. Post game, we'll try to figure out if we got enough finals, where Hermiston might be next week as we wrap things up here.